It is a blockbuster battle in Budapest this evening. Champions League holders Paris Saint-Germain and Champions League challengers Arsenal contest this year's final at the Puskás Arena. Luis Enrique's Crop are bidding to become the first ever French team to win back-to-back European Cups, while the Gunners seek to etch their name onto the prestigious trophy 20 years after their first failed shot at European supremacy. A penny for Kylian Mbappe's thoughts as the erstwhile PSG attacker attempts to fight off a fan revolution at Real Madrid. His former employers are gunning for successive Champions League titles, an honour he tried and failed to lead the Parisians to even once during his otherwise glittering Parc des Princes career. Prioritising a cohesive unit over superstar name serial silverware collector Enrique, who can now join Carlo Ancelotti, Pep Guardiola, Bob Paisley and Zinedine Zidane as the fifth manager to win 3 European Cups, oversaw an unremarkable league phase with 14 points from a possible 24. But PSG quintessentially came alive in the knockout rounds when it really matters. Monaco, Chelsea, Liverpool and most recently Bayern have been slain by the reigning European champions, who unsurprisingly led the way in this year's Champions League goal charts at 44, one shy of the all-time record set by the 1999-2000 Barcelona team. Only once have PSG failed to find the back of the net in this Champions League campaign. It was December's forgettable goalless draw with Bilbao, and they have struck multiple goals in 7 of their 8 knockout matches. That streak ending in their 1-1 semi-final second leg draw with Bayern Munich. The nominated host did end the 2025-26 Ligue 1 season on a sour note with a 2-1 loss to their neighbours Paris FC, but the obligatory title had already been secured, of course, and Bradley Barclay's opener in that clash means that PSG have come to the Budapest on a sensational 27-match scoring sequence. And this evening's showpiece marks the first Champions League final between two domestic champions since 2020, where PSG were bested by 1-0 by Bayern behind closed doors, an optimistic omen for the more superstitious Arsenal supporters. It is only appropriate that the Gunners will be going for European glory against PSG 2 decades after their heartbreak in the French capital, where Jens Lehmann's red card, Samuel Eto'o's offside escape and Giuliano Belletti's clincher saw Barca conquer the continent at the expense of a crestfallen Arsene Wenger. The illustrious Frenchman left the Emirates without ever triumphing in the Champions League, but his disciple Mikel Arteta is now just 90 minutes away from a momentous Champions League and English top-flight double, a feat previously achieved by Liverpool twice, Manchester United twice and Manchester City. And the naysayers will point to Arsenal's perceived easy run, in air quotes, to Budapest, but the Premier League champions earned their position on the kinder side of the draw thanks to their flawless league phase performance before outwitting all of Bayer Leverkusen, Sporting Lisbon and Atletico Madrid en route to Hungary. Still unbeaten in Europe this season, Arsenal are already the first side to go 14 games without losing in a single Champions League campaign, during which they've also kept an unrivaled 9 clean sheets, that's 1 fewer than their 2005-06 joint record alongside the 2015-16 Real Madrid side. Arsenal 2-1 Premier League triumph for Crystal Palace last weekend, which preceded the long-awaited trophy lift, also marked their 5th win in a row across all competitions, although 6 of their last 7 victories have been by just the 1 goal. The exception was a 3-0 success over an illness-hit Fulham. Arteta did mastermind a 2-goal triumph over PSG in last year's Champions League league phase, albeit before Enrique's men at the vital time eliminated Arsenal from the semis. But 1 year later, a kiss on the Champions League trophy would represent the sweetest taste of revenge. Well, let's talk you through the lineups here in Budapest, starting with Paris Saint-Germain. So Hakimi is fit enough to start. Pacho Mendes also come in with Neves and Doué also in the lineup. Zaire-Emery, Zabani, Lucia, Beraldo and Barclay all dropping out. So lineup in full for Paris Saint-Germain is Matvei Safonov, back four, Achraf Hakimi, Marquinhos, William Pacho and Nuno Mendes. Midfield 3, of course, is the usual trio of João Neves, Fabian Ruiz and Vitinha. with Vicha Kvaratskhelia on the left. He has been in stupendous form this season. Ousmane Dembele, the Ballon d'Or winner, unsurprisingly has come alive in these knockout stages. And Desiree Doué, the star of that Champions League final last year, he is on the right. As for Arsenal, David Raya is of course back between the sticks, and Saliba, Gabriel in that back line again, with Norgard and Calafiori coming out. And again, of course, Mikel Arteta really ran the changes. You've got Rice, Saka, Ødegaard, Trossard and Havertz, in for Zubimendi, Dalman, Madueke, Martinelli and Jesus. So line-up and forwards, David Raya in goal, back four, Christian Mosquera, William Saliba, Gabriel and Pierre Hincapié. Midfield, Arsenal-Skelly, the second youngest English starter in the Champions League final, just behind Trent Alexander-Arnold, who played the 2018 one against Real Madrid. And of course, Declan Rice accompanies him. That massive leader in midfield. Again, he's been picking up all sorts of awards this season, Declan Rice, and rightly so for his fantastic performances. Martin Ødegaard just ahead of them in that midfield. It's Leandro Trossard on the left, Bukayo Saka on the right, and Kai Havertz has the nod over Victor Gyökeres up front. PSG's bench is as follows: Lucas Braldo, Ilya Zabani, Gonçalo Ramos, Kang Lee, Lucas Hernandez, Sene Mayulu, Dro Fernandez, Bradley Barcola, Lucas Valier, Juan Zaire-Emery, Ibrahim Mbaye and Renato Marin. Arsenal's is Gabriel Jesus, Abera Eze, Gabriel Martinelli, Yurin Timber, Kepa, Victor Gyökeres, Christian Norgard, Noni Madueke, Mikel Merino, Ricardo Calafiori, Martin Zubimendi and Max Dalman. What an occasion this promises to be. It's always the most special occasion in the European football calendar, of course. Again, PSG, the holders, and Arsenal, 20 years on, have another shot to finally break the Champions League dot. We're underway here in Budapest. Arsenal, the fancy kick-off, flicking up and smashing it forwards towards Declan Rice. PSG head away, Gabriel heads down, and Rice hooks forwards towards left. It's a nice touch on that far side from Trossard, then he's pickpocketed. João Neves on the ball, pokes it now to Marquinhos, goes direct, it evades Dembele, controlled the midriff of Gabriel. Now Arsenal looking to go long on the left-hand side. Instead they go short to Trossard. Trossard just a light shove in the back from Achraf Hakimi. As Hincapié just went for the short pass at the end to Trossard, and Hakimi was wrestling. Leandro Trossard had his hands all around him. Little kick as well at the Belgium. That's a free kick for Arsenal. Just coming up to the opening minute. Mikel Arteta want the side to be as organised as possible. Interesting to see this be a cagey affair or not. An early free kick for Arsenal to stick in. There's a couple yards ahead of halfway on the left-hand side. It will be Declan Rice to deliver. So I imagine he'll go for the drill ball. That's exactly what he does with his right foot towards Saliba. It's heading to the box and Gabriel, but it just went in behind of Havertz. And in the end, Safonov just lets it go out of play for a goal kick, but in Arsenal will look to cause plenty of problems in set pieces. Gabriel level with the D, got a bit too much on that header in behind of Havertz, and a goal kick for Safonov to take. And I wonder if he goes short from this. I think he's just telling his teammates to push up, so and taking no chances here. PSG with his goal kick. Just look to get everyone pushed up. The Safonov drills it towards the left-hand side, and that evades Kvaratskhelia. Good catch there from Arteta in his technical area. Quick throw from Arsenal down the far side. Havertz lays it in field, just couldn't quite pick out Ødegaard. Now Vitinha, right foot to pass back into the feet of Hakimi. Vitinha asking for it, being pressed from Ødegaard. PSG in the D. Square from Marquinhos. Now across to Nuno Mendes. Mendes gets away from Saka. Mendes in the middle of his half. Nuno Mendes now chopping onto his right foot. Mendes looks to lift it towards the right. Comes up the head of Trossard. That's a nice first touch there by João Neves. Still João Neves on the ball. Turns onto his right foot. Neves midway inside his half. Squared to his midfield compatriot Fabian Ruiz. Down Dembele into his own half. Links up with Ruiz. Infield here for Vitinha. Vitinha, unsurprisingly, the deepest of that midfield trio. Vitinha swivels onto his right foot. The ball is stopped at the moment. Vitinha dead centre of the Paris Saint-Germain half. Coming up to the third minute here in Budapest. Very nice weather in the Hungarian capital this evening. And Vitinha goes out to Hakimi. Hakimi about 10 yards behind halfway. Now Marquinhos is used. Vitinha almost standing on Marquinhos' toes to receive that pass. Vitinha now turns against Kvaratskhelia. He's tackled though, but it rolls back to Vitinha. Kvaratskhelia just moving into a central position here, with Mendes using the width on the left. And now Kvaratskhelia in the middle of the PSG half, square for Fabian Ruiz, wrong foot, Saka. Now Neves, first time, square pass to Mendes. Mendes turns onto his left foot. Now it's in the PSG backline. Pacho again taps it to Ruiz. Fabian Ruiz just drawing Saka and Odegaard in, and Neves in between Odegaard and Saka. Again goes back in defence midfield to Vitinha. Square to Ruiz. Ruiz now right foot over halfway. Header forwards there from Saliba. Now it's flick out to the right hand side for Odegaard. Saka dispossessed. It's kept in play for Mendes, and Mendes just knocked it off the right leg of Christian Mosquera. 4 minutes played it in Budapest. No early chances so far. So Mendes at 20 yards behind the halfway line to take the throw here for Paris Saint-Germain. Mendes goes for a long throw, looking for Dembele. Nodded away from Saliba. With Saka pushing it back from Fabian Ruiz. The referee does block for a free kick against the Spanish midfielder. There was a clear shot there from Fabian Ruiz, and already the referee just having to have a quick word there. Daniel Sieber, the German referee for this evening. There's a clear push there from Fabian Ruiz, and there's a little warning there for the German referee to Ruiz, and now Rice takes the short free kick to Lewis Skelly. Here is Gabriel on the D. Square to Rice. Now Rice slices it up in the air. It's controlled from Havertz. Lovely first touch from Havertz with his right foot. And now it's Nketiah, who rolls over halfway to Clem Hakimi, blocked, and now Arsenal in behind the left-hand side. Havertz is the box. Kai Havertz on the byline. Havertz, he smashes it in to the roof of the lads. What a start for Arsenal in Budapest. The big call from Arteta to start Havertz has paid off. What a finish from the German into the roof of net. And the European champions are rattled. Kai Havertz there to pounce on the defensive mess up for Paris Saint-Germain. The dream start for Arsenal. Could this be the year they finally do it? A long, long way to go. But a first big step taken. Nketiah's pass took a deflection. And it was an awful clearance there, which was blocked, and it fell to Havertz. He had acres of space to run into. Marquinhos with the poor clearance. It came off Trossard. Well, didn't hit Trossard's hand. And Havertz had acres of space to run in behind into on the left. Got himself into the box, took a deep breath, a tight angle left side the area, and he just lashed it with the laces of his left boot as high as he could. And my word, he got it to perfection, right into the roof of the net. It's Paris Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 1. And PSG's restart goes straight out of play. Arsenal take the throw, Raya clears. Header from João Neves. Poke falls into Kvaratskhelia, edge of the box. That's a good tackle made there for Declan Rice. Rice brought down. And then it's a free kick to the Gunners. Fantastic work there in the Arsenal midfield. And that has certainly relaxed Arteta's men. Of course, they did lead in Paris back in 2006. Sol Campbell's header. They just couldn't hold out that night. Can they do it here in Budapest 20 years on? That is certainly a worthy finish of a goal on such an occasion from Kai Havertz. Outstanding power on the shot, because the angle was a bit against him. That's 4 goals in 6 Champions League games this season as well for Kai Havertz. And his some return, and that is why he got the starting berth over Victor Gyökeres. So Arsenal now nicely into this match. Just over 7.5 minutes gone. Arsenal lead by a goal to 0. And it was a foul from Vitinha for that Arsenal free kick. And Fabian Ruiz was saying he was fouled from Declan Rice just before Arsenal won the free kick. And Rice did just catch his knee actually, so I can understand the frustration of Fabian Ruiz, but the referee didn't spot that. So 8 minutes on the clock. Arsenal goals are good. Free kick for David Raya to ping towards the left-hand side. Header one there from Hakimi. Now Doué looking to turn. Good strength there from Doué against Trossard. Doué now running to space down the far side. Doué is the attacking third. Desiree Doué swings in the ball. Can't find Dembele. Header from Saliba now controlled in space from Trossard. Brings out the box. Trossard surrounded by PSG men, but Trossard looking to take over halfway. Hakimi gets himself in between man and ball and just slides it back left-footed into the feet of Vitinha. So good defending there from Achraf Hakimi. And now here is Vitinha on the ball. Vitinha about midway in his own territory. Vitinha just drawing the Arsenal press in. Goes square to Mendes. Dembele asks for it, gets it. Dembele lets the ball run over halfway. Gets tackled there from Saka on Ousmane Dembele. Free kick given against Saka there. With the naked eye, I thought he clearly on the ball against Dembele. I think Arteta agrees with me. Well, they would agree anyway. And Dembele, it's a nice turn. For me, Saka on the ball with his pink boot there. So free kick for PSG. They're just ahead of halfway. Ruiz and Dembele combined. Now Mendes, bang on the halfway line. Mendes, left-footed. Strokes it down the left wing to Ruiz. Inside, Kvaratskhelia turns, but Rice pickpockets him. Saka's pass, but stepping onto it is Vitinha, but he just knocks off the chest of Erdegaard. Now into the Arsenal back line with Saliba, just clears it away quickly. Mendes now has it. Mendes just nudged into from Kai Havertz. And the referee awards a free kick against Havertz. And now PSG take the free kick out towards the right-hand side. Here's Doué in field, 30 yards and goal. Desiree Doué. Can Arsenal have everyone back here? Coming up to the 10th minute. PSG 0, Arsenal 1. But a long, long way to go here, of course, in Budapest. Pacho. Square left-footed pass. Mendes. And now Kvaratskhelia. Just under 40 yards and goal. Back here for Mendes, who likes to get in that inverted position. Vitinha located in the centre circle. 10 minutes on the clock here. Vitinha. Goes the right foot pass. Now Marquinhos. And down the far side to Desiree Doué. Back to Vitinha, level with the centre circle. Vitinha. Now Vitinha plants it out to Doué. Vitinha again. Now João Neves. Midway in the Arsenal half. Back here to Vitinha. PSG just enjoying some possession. Vitinha. That's now gone right-footed. Across to Mendes. Short for Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia, 40 yards and goal. Vitinha. Just ahead of the centre circle. Vitinha whips it right-footed. Now it's out to Desiree Doué. Doué, edge of the box, still Doué. Doué now tries a punt through for Kvaratskhelia. Intercepted for Lewis Skelly. Mistake for the Arsenal defence, but that's a great tackle there from Gabriel. Well, actually, he made a mess of trying to clear that. Him and Lewis Skelly got in each other's way for a second for Kvaratskhelia. Got him behind for a split second, but Gabriel with his long leg managed to clear away for a corner, which is taken short. Now PSG whip it towards the back post. And it's hit to the side netting in the end for Fabian Ruiz. The short corners worked. Dembele whipped it in towards the back post. Too much on it. Ruiz to make contact with the ball, but straight into the side netting. But PSG just get themselves into it in the last minute or so. So goal kick for Gabriel to start off. And Gabriel just looking to see where he wants to go to. Just taps it to Raya, which is obviously the most safe option. So Raya, long towards left-hand side. Havertz back into Marquinhos. Havertz now on the far side. Havertz can't take the ball with him. We're trying to turn away from Marquinhos. Passing field to Vitinha. Now PSG in the box here with Mendes. Mendes takes out the area. Now Mendes just turns and has Vitinha available. Vitinha, dead centre of the PSG half. And square to Neves. João Neves now. And coming up to the Arsenal press. Neves about 4 yards shy of halfway. Neves plays about 5 yards over the halfway line. Now Doué looks forward. Doué picks out the run of Fabian Ruiz. Left side of the box. Ruiz across the face of goal. No takers though. That's better there for Paris Saint-Germain. Again, Ruiz left side the penalty area, running on to Doué's pass. They needed a runner in the middle of the box, but again, Ousmane Dembele was nowhere to be seen on that occasion. Actually, looking at it again, I think Fabian Ruiz was going for goal that really tight angle because he saw no support in that penalty area with him. So Arsenal go long for the goal kick from Gabriel. Header, couple yards behind halfway from Marquinhos. Now Hakimi. Back here to William Pacho. Mendes, right in the centre of the PSG half, forwards in midfield to Fabian Ruiz. Saka pressing on Mendes, that pass went backwards. Now Saka looking to win it off Mendes. Mendes still coming forwards. Mendes takes heavy touch, but the referee, has he given a free kick against Mendes? Oh, in Mendes' favour to say, I think he has. I think the referee's insinuating that Mendes did have his ankle clipped. And free kick taken quickly to Vitinha. Vitinha turns. Fabian Ruiz is available, but Vitinha's facing away from him. So here's Marquinhos. Rolls it towards the halfway line. Turned back to him by Doué. Here's Fabian Ruiz. Ruiz, it's rolled to Pacho. Then Arsenal pushing up well. Marquinhos, first time. Now Achraf Hakimi inside in the PSG after Doué. Here's the skipper, Marquinhos. 14 minutes played. PSG 0, Arsenal 1. Havertz with the early strike. Give the Gunners the advantage. Marquinhos rolls it back in the PSG area. For Safonov to smash it towards the halfway line. Well, Gabriel heads away. Here is Neves getting onto loose ball. Neves clattered into by Lewis Skelly. And that will definitely be a free kick to PSG. Just when Gabriel win that header a moment ago, him and Havertz just getting each other's way there. So it's a quick free kick from PSG. Just beyond halfway, Ruiz now. Out to left to Mendes. Mendes, 40 yards in goal. There's Kvaratskhelia has that short support. Now it's Vitinha in the centre circle. Vitinha turns onto his right foot, square to Fabian Ruiz. Vitinha wants it again. PSG just comfortable on the ball midfield. Vitinha square to Marquinhos. Marquinhos moves back 5 yards forwards. There's Dembele wide right. Ousmane Dembele. Now to Fabian Ruiz. Ruiz, 35 yards in goal. Sprays it towards the far side. Trapped on the chest of Hakimi. Back now to the feet of Marquinhos. Planted down the right for Hakimi. Hakimi cross-blocked from Saliba. His opposite number, and it will be a corner kick on the right-hand side for PSG. It's a good block there by William Saliba. Good idea from Marquinhos just to send it down the line. So corner now from the right from PSG. Dembele sends in. Saka miscues his volley, then manages to clear at the second attempt. Well, PSG saying that Saka cleared off his own hand, but nothing was given. Got it cleared much more cleanly at the second attempt. Vitinha in the centre circle. Now Fabian Ruiz. Ruiz cuts inside of Mosquera, chasing down the centre. Mosquera wins the tackle. And Arsenal on the turnover. Odegaard, few step overs, chipped it into the box. Trossard can't get onto it though. Hakimi got himself into that space Trossard wanted to run into. It was an easy claim for Safonov in the end. Well, I'll tell you what, Saka, when he missed the ball initially, bounced off his chest, but quite lucky it didn't come off his hand. Well, actually, it did come off his hand at the second attempt, but it was by its side, so couldn't really give a penalty for that. So PSG 78% of possession, but Arteta won't care one bit. The only thing that matters, his side are leading. It's just come up to the 17th minute. Pacho whips it forwards. Mosquera volleys it away. Header from Vitinha. There's a lot on it. Did it take a nick off Mosquera? I think it did. So it'll be a throw for PSG just beyond halfway on the left. Doué and Mendes combined. Now Vitinha. Fabian Ruiz in the centre circle. Stroked it back. Left-footed to Marquinhos. Marquinhos. And as Vitinha square on. PSG in the centre circle. Vitinha just rolling the ball. It's on the halfway line. Vitinha. Now square to Fabian Ruiz. Plays it through the Arsenal midfield. Now to the inside left to Doué. Vicha Kvaratskhelia cuts in. Here is Fabian Ruiz. Ruiz just over 35 yards from goal. Vitinha beside him. Now Kvaratskhelia inside right, midway in the Arsenal half. Rolled out to Doué. And now down line for Kvaratskhelia. It's the flick, it's Dembele in the box, messes that up. And Nkapie short pass to Trossard. Trossard clearance blocked, and Nkapie runs onto it, plays the pass, can't pick out Saka. In the central area of the Arsenal half, Fabian Ruiz has it in the PSG midfield, drags it a couple yards behind him to Vitinha. Vitinha twisting and turning, square to Mendes. PSG wide left. They now need attacking third. It's Doué. Again, against Saka and Mosquera, but it's a good challenge there from Mosquera. Now Saka flicks it back to Mosquera. And Mosquera to Declan Rice. And Rice for Raya to clear right side of his box. Raya whips it away at the first attempt. Havertz, can he flick on? Header one for Pacho. Now header backwards from the halfway line for Neves. Volleyed there from Mendes. Just chested down for Gabriel to Saliba. Saliba, elegant on the ball. Now being closed down from Hakimi and Ruiz. Goes back to Raya. Raya drills it. Laces of the right boot towards Saka. Saka wins the flick on. No runner behind him. It is Pacho who picked the ball up. And now Safanov taps it to Marquinhos in the PSG penalty area. Marquinhos brings out the box. Now Neves joins in with the play. Throwing deepest of the midfield three to pick it up. Now Neves travelling, his body shaped on the left-hand side, looking towards Fabian Ruiz. Neves again. PSG about 6 yards behind the halfway line on the inside left. Now Vitinha rolls it across to Marquinhos. Marquinhos pass over halfway for Dembele, who's wide right. Dembele midway in the Arsenal half. Dembele still on the ball. Dembele now to a topo pass and Doué to Hakimi. Good tackle there, the right foot of Hincapié did deflect off Hakimi last, and the ball was thrown back to Hincapié to take the throw. Just couldn't quite catch it there, the Arsenal man, because I think it was just launched towards his face there. A bit frustratingly from Hakimi. Don't think the referee spotted that though. So throw for Arsenal to take. Coming up to the 20th minute, Arsenal lead by a goal to 0 through Kai Havertz. Hincapié's throw. Head up into the air from that man Havertz. Bounce off the chest of Ødegaard. Swung forwards up into the air from Ruiz towards the box. That's a simple header there for Gabriel. Does concede a throw. So 20 minutes on the dot here in Budapest. PSG 0, Arsenal 1. Let's see what the European champions are made of. Mendes rolls it back 10 yards forwards to Kvaratskhelia. Level with Mikel Arteta's technical area. Back on the halfway line to his left-sided partner Mendes. Vitinha in the centre circle. It's gone square for Dembele. Dembele just has that license to roam wherever he wants at the moment. Dembele, 35 yards from goal. Square to Marquinhos, who's pushed up high. And wide right with Doué, level with the penalty area. Doué goes backwards to Marquinhos, still pushed high. And now Vitinha. Vitinha over the top, but that's way too far ahead of Achraf Hakimi. And very, very easy there for Raya to claim. It's thrown to Trossard, midway inside his half. Links up with Havertz, holds it up. Tackle comes in for Pacho, that will do nicely for Arsenal. Throw to be taken 4 yards behind halfway, 21 minutes on the clock here at the Puskás Arena. Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 1. Hincapié with the throw for the Gunners. Actually, the referee's ordering Hincapié just to take another step back. Hincapié throws it behind him to Gabriel. Here's Lewis Skelly. Lewis Skelly turns. Can he find a full pass? Lewis Skelly left foot. He does find a really good full pass to Havertz. Havertz turns. Arsenal halfway with Trossard. Trossard holds it up. Back to Havertz. Havertz prods it forwards. It's held up here from Rice. Rice wins the throw. Rice at the throw. Bit too quickly for the referee's liking. In fact, actually, the referee's given a throw against Arsenal. So, came off Declan Rice last. And the throw will be João Neves to take, just beyond the halfway line on the right. It's clear from Hincapié. Now Trossard on the bounce, lifts it back to Raya. Moves the left side of his area. Now Raya launches it over halfway, right through the centre, but free header for William Pacho to play forwards. Now Lewis Skelly volleys it. That's flicked backwards there for Vitinha. Head over halfway from Neves, flicked up in the air from Doué. Tees it off to Vitinha. Vitinha whips it first time, bounces to Dembele. Dembele comes off the back of his head to the left wing to Kvaratskhelia. Up against Mosquera. Kvaratskhelia needs support. Vici Kvaratskhelia. Mosquera now makes a tackle. That's brilliant there for Mosquera. Mosquera holds off Fabian Ruiz, and Mosquera wins a throw for Arsenal. Care for Ruiz last. That is brilliant defending there for Mosquera. I must say, I think Mosquera has been one of Arsenal's best players in the 22 minutes 40 seconds that's been played so far. He has been excellent in his duels against Kvaratskhelia. And there will be a drinks break in the sweltering heat in Budapest. It was only hosted one other European final this stadium, and that was Sevilla against Roma, 2023 Europa League final. Sevilla victorious on penalties. You wouldn't be surprised to see another penalty shootout to conclude this final. And Arsenal fully deserving of their place here. I spoke about in my pre-match amble. Again, Arsenal having the so-called easy route, but again they earned it by some fantastic wins in the league stages. Again, defeating Atletico Madrid. They defeat Atletico Madrid on three occasions, as I say. Obviously, in the league phase, obviously they did it in the semi-finals as well. Obviously, yes, sorry, they won 2 of those games and drew in Madrid, but again, the one at San Siro as well. Arsenal beating Bayern Munich, so some big hitters on their way to the final. Incredible scenes as well when Havertz scored on the bench. Everyone off their seats, couldn't believe how early they scored. And Arsenal holding their nerve at the moment. Long way to go. Luis Enrique was straight off his seat, just urging his side to stay calm. And you do feel like there'll be much more twists and turns to come here in Budapest. So drinks break is now concluded, and Arsenal have the throw to take. Deep inside their own half, on the right through Christian Mosquera. Of course, I was singing his praises a moment ago. The commentator's curse striking, has an absolute mare of a throw. Let's see, Christian Mosquera. See you pick up from this throw. Throws it down the right side. It's clear away from Mendes. Takes deflection. Now flick from Havertz. Saka sandwiched in between Luiz and Mendes. And Luiz clears it out for an Arsenal throw. So that will do very nicely for the men in red. So 20 minutes to go in this first half. It's Paris Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 1 in the 2026 Champions League final in Budapest. Mosquera takes a throw back to Saliba. Lewis Skelly brings it superbly forward from defensive midfield. Still Lewis Skelly. Square to Ødegaard on the inside right. Here come Arsenal looking to make it number 2. Saka, low cross in, and it's pushed away from Safanov. And PSG clear their lines through Hakimi. Ball bounced over Dembele, said that was brave goalkeeping from Safanov. The referee has to blow his whistle. Safanov is down hurt. It was a low testing cross from Bukayo Saka. Trossard was trying to get onto it, but Safanov got a strong right hand to push it towards Hakimi. Just got a knock on his head from the left leg of Trossard for his troubles. Obviously nothing malicious from Trossard, he was just trying to get us the ball honestly. A very brave goalkeeping there from Matvei Safanov, who's down in understandable pain at the moment. And Lucas Chevalier is an option to bring on should Safanov need to come on. Chevalier get himself all ready in case that has to happen. And Lewis Skelly, though, just a moment ago, absolutely outstanding work. Just drive the ball deep side his own half, get Arsenal up the pitch and create that dangerous situation. Saka put the low cross in. It's great work though. Safanov to get a vital hand on to it, so he didn't. Trossard was going to nick in front of Marquinhos and divert that towards the target. So Menix is still checking on the well-being of Matvei Safanov. Still rubbing the back of his head. So it will be a very, very sore one for him. 27 minutes played here in Budapest. Paris Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 1. Kai Havertz with the finish. In a tight angle, but Arsenal been working very, very hard so far. Really good shape at them. It's always under Mikel Arteta. Hard to beat, but they obviously got the moments. Players like Saka create something again. Ødegaard has got the magic in him, but it's Kai Havertz who's come up with that big moment so far, taking advantage from a messy Marquinhos clearance, just deflected off the back of Leandro Trossard, and see PSG. The line was pushed high and in so much space for Arsenal and Havertz to run into. Left-hand side for the goal. So Safanov, checked by the medics, looks to be fine enough to continue here, which is good to see. There'll be a decent amount of stoppage time at the end of this half. Again, still got a fair amount of football to play in this first half. And 28.5 and it's gone. PSG 0, Arsenal 1. And the referee now will commence the drop ball. So João Neves standing closest to the referee at the moment. If any of the players and the referee just make sure Arsenal are in the right positions here. Of course, PSG had the ball for referee blows whistles, and Neves plays it back in midfield to Vitinha. Now Marquinhos. Marquinhos, a long right-footed ball, headed down from Gabriel. And the second ball, one for Luis Skelly. It's looped up in the air. Trossard's header now, headed from right in the centre circle, but it falls here to Vitinha. PSG 73% of possession, but not being able to do anything with it so far. Mendes on the outside of Saka. PSG still in their own half. Kvaratskhelia to Mendes. Mendes gets away from Saka. What a pass from Mendes outside of the left boot. And now PSG wide right with Dembele. A few step overs into the box. Dembele cross blocked. Hakimi. Dembele's been used. Doué's inside. Doué makes a run and behind in the area. Still Dembele on the edge of the box. Plays it infield to midfield to Vitinha. Again, roll back out and close to him was Dembele. Dembele delivers. Header away from Gabriel. Bounce in the middle for Doué. Cushion header back to Vitinha. Now PSG have a man down here. I think that is that Nuno Mendes down on the side of the penalty area. PSG still on the ball with Doué. Marquinhos and Mendes continues to be down in pain, but teammates are playing on. Dembele to Hakimi. Hakimi by the corner flag. Backwards to Ousmane Dembele. Half-hour play. Ball clips the box. Dembele control for Neves. Now Hakimi jinks in. Hakimi tackled. But referee waves it away. It was a clean tackle on the referee's eyes. And Ngapié clears it back into the PSG half. And Mendes still down in pain, holding his right ankle. That was a brilliant tackle in the box. Hakimi a moment ago. And now the referee does blow his whistle. I think Mendes might need some treatment here. And firstly, Dembele scooped it in. Gabriel head it away, and that's an instant came about with Gabriel climbing over the top of Mendes. Then Gabriel made the tackle. That's actually on Doué, not Hakimi. Doué in the box. And it was perfectly timed there. And Gabriel Mendes is now fine. I don't really think Gabriel's doing anything wrong. That's the way he climbed over Mendes. And Rice now gives the ball back to PSG. And it is Safanov who is fine off that knock on the head. So PSG in their box. Pacho to Ruiz. Ruiz now, plenty of room to run into. Ruiz rolls it just over halfway. Doué knocks it back to Mendes. Mendes now bends over the top. The run down for Ruiz on the left-hand side. That's good. Sweeper keeper work there from Raya. To clear right-footed out for a PSG throw. Kvaratskhelia and Mendes combine. So PSG 35 yards and goal. Vitinha on the ball. To Kvaratskhelia. Vitinha again. PSG with Marquinhos. Rolls it forwards out the right-hand side to Ousmane Dembele. Dembele. Doué asking for it in the penalty area because backwards on that inside right to Vitinha. Swept across the attacking third to Mendes. Ruiz inside to Mendes. Now Vitinha, 30 yards from the target. Vitinha, that's square to Hakimi. And forward right-foot pass on the right for Dembele. With Ngapié and Trossard doubling up, scooped in the box and Neves. He heads it backwards though. Out to Doué. Now it's Marquinhos to Vitinha. Arsenal have everyone behind the ball here. Vitinha just goes square cross, set from midfield to Ruiz. Fabian Ruiz out here to Kvaratskhelia. Ruiz again, just under 30 yards and goal. Vitinha, right foot on top of the ball. Ruiz asking for it again. Vitinha goes to Hakimi. So it's on the right, midway in the Arsenal half, with Desiree Doué. Again, short to Vitinha. Arsenal, again, defending superbly, forcing PSG back here with the ball. But Vitinha does lift it forwards. Headed down the box from Akis to Dembele. Out to Kvaratskhelia. Hakimi, Dembele again. Edge of the penalty area. Dembele trying to wrong foot Havertz. Ball clipped into the box. That's an easy take there for Raya. And PSG just can't even find a big chance here. Arsenal defending outstandingly. Pass to Havertz. He's saying he was shoved in the back there from Pacho. The referee thought that was just good strength. Marquinhos, pass over halfway down the right. Hakimi now to Doué. Dembele wants it, the near post. Doué attempts to cross, it's blocked from Capier. And it'll be a corner kick on the right-hand side for Paris Saint-Germain. Again, Capier is also defended superbly. So it's a short corner from PSG. So Ruiz to Vitinha. In the middle with Mendes. Mendes, just over 25 yards from goal. Cross towards the back post. It's cleared from Declan Rice. And falls on the right-hand side to Saka. Heavy touch. Goes out of play. PSG throw. There's two balls on the ball on the pitch here, which needs to be cleared off quickly before Mendes can take the throw. So Mendes takes a throw by Arteta's technical area. Now it's João Neves just in front of the centre circle. Marquinhos rolls about 7 yards forwards. It's the feet of Doué down the line for Hakimi. Hakimi's cross cleared away brilliantly at the near post with the laces of Saliba. Great battle there between Dembele and Saliba. From PSG on the right hand side. The attacking third goes back now to Marquinhos. And down that right, where it's Hakimi cutting in. Hakimi 25 yards from goal. Now it's with Pacho. Fabian Ruiz. PSG in the attacking third. It's a poor layout from Mendes. Rice strides onto the ball. Still Declan Rice. Keeps his balance brilliantly. And now Mosquera bends it on the outside of João Neves and Mendes to Saka. Saka now shoved in the back from Nuno Mendes. Mendes puts his hands over his face in frustration. Saka anticipates that contact and did brilliantly there. Bukayo Saka, clear shove. Nuno Mendes leading with his right arm into the back of Bukayo Saka, and that'll be a free kick, which is slightly over halfway inside the PSG half. So it's the free kick's going to be coming in from the right-hand side. Can Arsenal double their advantage before the break? Sol Campbell scored a header on a free kick in Paris 20 years ago. An Arsenal defender step up to the plate again to score a goal in the Champions League final. So Havertz swings the ball in. Header up into the air, but it's looped well over the bar. It was Gabriel who met it. Just going to keep it down. Actually, I think Gabriel rose above his own man and Kai Havertz. Havertz was the player who wanted to header it. It's a brilliant lead from Gabriel. Yeah, I think Havertz was the man who wants to get that flick on. So a bit of miscommunication there between Gabriel and Havertz. Short goal kick from PSG. Hakimi prods it down line, but stepping onto it is Declan Rice. He's bundled down to the ground. Nothing given by the referee. Here come PSG with Vitinha. He's in the attacking third. So it's Dembele. Right side of the box. Shot blocked. Brilliantly from Saliba. And then Saliba heads away. Now volleyed towards the centre circle from Trossard. Touch away from Marquinhos. Now Trossard holds it up against João Neves. Challenge comes in for Doué. Wins the ball. Doué keeps his foot in. Doué, little step over. Still Desiree Doué. Doué eventually tackled from Martin Ødegaard. He's been quiet this evening, the Arsenal skipper. It's been an excellent team performance from Arsenal so far. 37 minutes played, the lead in Budapest by goal to nil. Kai Havertz in the opening 5 minutes. Now, Saliba slaloming over halfway. Saliba squares it. Havertz in the centre circle, turns Havertz. Manages to get a stretch pass off to Nkapie. Trossard, 6 yards in the PSG half. Now back in defence to Gabriel. Lewis Skelly, who's been excellent so far, holds off Neves. Squares it to Trossard. Arsenal and back in defence with Gabriel. Left side of his box is Raya. Raya whips it. It's flicked on, but it was too high in the end. for Nkapie to get any sort of meaningful flick. The organisation of Arsenal has been absolutely superb. The block from Gabriel from Ousmane Dembele's shot just a minute ago was excellent. So throw from PSG, midway inside the half. And they're on the ball here with Pacho. Pacho left-footed, Kvaratskhelia. We are shy of halfway. Just a poke to Mendes, squared in the centre circle. To the feet of Vitinha. Vitinha travels over halfway at very slow pace. Squared to Marquinhos. Marquinhos now picks out Hakimi down the right. Infield to Neves. Then Hakimi, Neves exchanging passes. Vitinha. Vitinha, 25 yards from goal. Neves backwards to Marquinhos. Now is William Pacho. Just taps it now to Vitinha. Almost standing on his toes is Doué to receive that pass. Now Marquinhos. It's the wide right where Hakimi has it. Hakimi can get the outswinging ball in. Hakimi on the byline. Hakimi towards the back post. Flicked away on his fast Kvaratskhelia, who's in the box against Mosquera. Now inside left edge here is Mendes. Headed away there from Gabriel, that cross. And then Hakimi out muscles Havertz. Oh, a little bit of a raised arm there from Hakimi on Havertz. Havertz just trying to keep hold of the ball to annoy Hakimi. Yeah, it was just a raised arm for the Moroccan on the face of Kai Havertz. Havertz now back on his feet and Hakimi just helping Havertz back up, but sort of Hakimi put his right arm just across the throat of Kai Havertz there. So he needs to be careful, Achraf Hakimi. Actually, I think he'll get away with a card altogether, Hakimi. So it's a throw of PSG, which Hakimi takes himself. Here's Marquinhos. Pacho. So PSG back in their own box with Vitinha. It's out Ruiz. And short to Pacho. Square to Vitinha. 5 minutes of this first half to go. PSG 0, Arsenal 1. Here is Fabian Ruiz. Now Vitinha has it. His right foot. Vitinha. Doué dropping deep to just pass it back in defence to Marquinhos. The skipper goes to Ruiz. Now Ruiz plays it through the Arsenal midfield. Controlled it for Neves, but he just lifts it backwards to Fabian Ruiz. So Ruiz left foot on the outside of Saka. Bit of room here for Mendes now. Mendes goes to cross towards Dembele. Flicked away from Saliba. Now it's left from Dembele for Doué. Doué lifts it towards the box. Headed away from Rice. Trossard miscontrolled, can't take the ball with him. Now here's Vitinha on the ball. And moved across to Neves. So PSG wide right with Doué. Neves, Doué again. And now Kvaratskhelia helps out on that right wing. So it is Desiree Doué. It's to put it down line to Neves. Intercepted from Nkapie. Nkapie just clears his lines. Can Arsenal hold their lead going into the break? 41.5 minutes of football played so far in the 2026 Champions League final in Budapest. PSG 0, Arsenal 1. PSG midway inside the Arsenal half on the right. Kvaratskhelia. Now Hakimi to João Neves. Neves back to Pacho, just ahead of the centre circle. Pacho in a light left-footed pass to Ruiz. Ruiz now come up to the attacking third. Squaring out to Mendes. Mendes left foot on top of the ball, back inside to Ruiz. Here's Marquinhos, yeah, midway in the Arsenal half. And now Hakimi. João Neves in the box, but flicks it backwards to Vitinha. And Vitinha inside right, 25 yards from goal, square to Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia trying to make a shooting opportunity. Here's Fabian Ruiz inside left. Now edge of the box is Mendes against Mosquera. Mendes on the byline. Mendes into the box. Mendes across the face. Goal cleared. And then headed over the bar for Fabian Ruiz. Good chance there for Paris Saint-Germain. It was Nkapie's clearance, which went straight onto the head of Fabian Ruiz. Mendes got around Mosquera, blasted the cross in. Yeah, and Nkapie's clearance straight onto the head of Fabian Ruiz. Ruiz stretching towards it. It was an awkward header for Ruiz. About 8 yards from goal. Couldn't keep that effort down, Fabio Ruiz. It came to him so quickly. Had to make it a split-second reaction. 2 minutes and all time this first half to go. Arsenal a goal to the good in the Champions League final. Goal kick too long for Havertz. Marquinhos lets it bounce. Moves it forwards right-footed. Bounce on the right side, Dembele. The forwards there from Gabriel. Flicked out of play from Lewis Skelly. Lewis Skelly's been so good on the ball today. Never mind off it, because I think everyone's been terrific off the ball for Arsenal. So PSG take their throw. Hakimi to Vitinha. Marquinhos first time, bounces by the centre circle, headed down from Gabriel. It's the attacking third. Saka chasing. It's a sliding clearance away from Pacho. Now Dembele in the centre circle. Desiree Doué. He's over halfway. Doué, nice feet. Doué looking towards left. Doué strokes it along the turf outside the right boot. Kvaratskhelia on the line of the area, cuts in from the left. Now Kvaratskhelia just under 30 yards and goal in the middle. Marquinhos picks up Dembele, edge of the box, inside. Dembele curls into the Arsenal fans instead of the top corner, like he was hoping. And Ousmane Dembele did well to find that bit of space, but he got the shot all wrong. Whipped left-footed right into the Arsenal fans, and Thierry Henry watching on today. Plenty of nerves. Obviously, we would like to see PSG do well, being a Frenchman, Thierry Henry, but there's only one team who wants to win this match, of course. There's allegiances to the red side of North London. So Raya with the goal kick. It's headed away from Mendes. Now Kvaratskhelia. Ruiz looks towards Mendes. Good. Will win back of the ball there in the centre circle from Declan Rice. Trossard clips it too far away from Odegaard. It's volleyed away from Kvaratskhelia, who's in a defensive position here. So 6 minutes of added on time in the first half. Many for Safonov going down. His head hurts, so Mosquera down the right to Saka. Right foot tackle from Mendes. That's rolled out of play for an Arsenal throw. So 6 minutes for Arsenal to preserve their advantage going into the break. Throw goes back to Saliba. Gabriel. Now is Raya on the line of his area. Raya right-footed. Too much on that. Safonov comes racing out of his goal. Safonov heads over halfway. Time now for Rice to hit that to safety. Only as far as Vitinha. Vitinha 7 yards in the Arsenal half. Still Vitinha. Look and see what's around him. Goes to Fabio Ruiz, a couple of yards in front of the centre circle. Now it's out to the left-hand side to Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia needs help. Goes in field to Vitinha. So Vitinha, 27-28 yards from goal. It's squared to Dembele, inside right. Close to penalty area, clips into the box down to João Neves. Looks to link up with Dembele, can't get a shot off. Nkapé clears, that was their push. Inside the box on Neves, nothing given. Arsenal clear through Gabriel. So a minute and 20 seconds of the 6 of stoppage time in this first half gone. Here's Nuno Mendes. Just under 40 yards and goal. Squared to Vitinha. Now Hakimi. So PSG level with the penalty area, wide right with Doué. Doué drifts in, behind him to Marquinhos. Again now. Further in field to Vitinha. Here's Doué, just beyond the D. Doué goes to the shot, and it's another shot for a PSG attack in these last few minutes, which goes into the Arsenal supporters. It was a wild swing of the ball from Desiree Doué. PSG worked the chance well. Neves went down the box, and Capier put an immaculately timed challenge with his left foot. Clearly won the ball against João Neves. Superb work from Nkapé. I think in Mosquera been excellent so far. As a fullback position, considering how good PSG are out wide. So Pacho heads away the goal kick, and Rice nods forwards. Flick from Saka in the attacking third. Havertz faced away from goal, turns. Has the support run on Mosquera. Mosquera used. Back inside. Saka lets it run across. Odegaard first time. Havertz to make it two. Havertz shot blocked. And Colford Safonov, what an opportunity for Arsenal to go two in front. It's the break. There's a really good block and a vital one. And there's PSG. Now just slowing it down. They're in their own half, but coming up to the halfway line in midfield with Vitinha. Ruiz in the centre circle, midway into the 6 minutes stoppage time this first half. Arsenal leading by goals nil. Vitinha still in the centre circle. Now gives it to Ruiz. Out to Germain-Arsenal-LIVE. Germain-Arsenal-LIVE looking for an inside option. Germain-Arsenal-LIVE so far has been locked out the game from Mosquera. Vitinha 30 yards on the target. Ball glued to his right foot. Squares Dembele. Hakimi running behind. Hakimi almost used, but it was a vital touch from Trossard, which took the ball behind for a corner kick on the right-hand side. PSG, but that was great defending there for Leandro Trossard. So, corner to come in from the right-hand side from Dembele. The referee just puts a stop to things before the corner comes in, just talking to David Raya and Fabian Ruiz. Two Spaniards, a little bit of push and shoving. Good natured though in the 6-yard box. So Dembele, corner kick comes in, simply dealt with by the head of Saliba. Only as far as Mendes. Vitinha, just over 25 yards from goal, right in the middle. Lifts it now to Fabian Ruiz on the edge of the box on left. Ruiz pigs it in. Oh, it's built from Brian, but Raya gets on top of the ball at the second attempt. Ruiz didn't fizz that in on the bounce. Just got his left foot across the face of the ball. And Raya got down to it the second attempt. Arsenal go long towards left. Straight out of play though. Minute and 25 seconds of first half stoppage time to go. Can Arsenal lead at the break? And well on course to do that. PSG short throw. Now Hakimi, diagonal ball. Germain-Arsenal-LIVE can't win the flick on. That will do nicely for Arsenal. Down to the last minute of first half stoppage time. What a chance was to Havertz, Monaco, Odegaard. That's a brilliant reverse pass, but the block from Marquinhos, of course, had to be Marquinhos. How pivotal could that be? Come the end of the match, Arsenal take the throw on the right side. And that's knocked out play from Pacho. Arsenal with the throw. Level with the penalty area. So again, just make sure now to see this out to half time properly. Mosquera leads the throw for Declan Rice. Just 30 seconds of stoppage time left. And I presume Rice will just throw it short unless he's going to go for a long throw here. I'll tell you what, I think Declan Rice is going to try and attempt the long throw for Arsenal. So Rice hurls it in towards near post. Flicked up in the air for Neves. The header from Mosquera. And Havertz trying to win the header, but it's one from Pacho. He's conceded the corner kick. So it definitely looks to be a corner kick on that right-hand side for Arsenal. There will be time to take it. It was a well-won aerial duel from Pacho against Havertz. So, a last chance for Arsenal in this first half to go 2 up at the break. Saka to deliver. And of course, we all know how deadly Arsenal are from corner kicks. So, Saka, is he going to play? The whistle's gone here. Half time, I think, was Saka just taking too long. Trying to take the corner kick. The referee's had enough and blew his half-time whistle. So it's half-time here in Budapest. Arsenal lead the Champions League final. A 6-minute goal for Kai Havertz. Marquinhos made a mess of a clearance, bounced off the back of Trossard. Havertz ran into acres of space down the left and finished into the roof and net in the box from a tight angle. PSG did grow into the game without testing Rice significantly. A few wild shots over the bar. Arsenal, as a team unit, they've been superb. Havertz had a shot blocked as well. Try and make it 2-0 in the first half stoppage time, but so far, so good for Arsenal. Big half-time team talk, well, for both managers, but in particular Luis Enrique, trying to inspire his European champions to come back and keep hold of their Champions League trophy. So here at the break in the 2026 Champions League final. Paris Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 1. Hello and welcome back to a sunny Budapest. Arsenal are just 45 minutes away from winning the Champions League. This could be the longest 45 minutes of any Arsenal fans' lives coming up. Again, can PSG show exactly why they're European champions, show their character and come from behind? Arsenal's a defensive masterclass from them in the first half. But again, PSG got to try and move the ball a bit quicker. They are get up against such a mean low block as Arsenal have, but there's not really that focal point in that PSG team at the moment. You've got Dembele sort of drifting everywhere. They just didn't get going at all that first half, and PSG get us underway for the second hit in Hungary, and it's Vitinha on the ball now. Marquinhos goes square to Pacho. Here is Mendes. Mendes finds Vitinha. Vitinha coming up to halfway. And Mendes again, down the left for Vitinha. Again, Doué asking for it in field. Doué flicks it. Kvaratskhelia inside left. Kvaratskhelia, good feet. Kvaratskhelia now rolls out to left. Ball comes in towards Dembele. Cleared away. Right footed from Gabriel out the box. Flicked up into the air from Ruiz. Ruiz trying to nick the ball back. Now Mosquera holds his ground, lets it bounce up for throw, but straight away Paris Saint-Germain on the front foot. Gabriel dealt with that cross well. Ruiz on left-hand side, throw for Mosquera to take, level with the Arsenal penalty area, and the referee just coming across to, is he a yellow card, Mosquera? Yeah, he has. Mosquera absolutely furious, as well as the skipper Martin Odegaard, but the referee just making this point known. Daniel Siebert does not want to see that again from Mosquera, so the yellow given to the Arsenal right back. Mosquera's throw, Havertz flicks it in field, can't bounce to Odegaard though. It bounced to Vitinha, just rifled it back to the feet of Safanov. It is Pacho. Goes to Safanov again, who's in the D. And now Marquinhos. Marquinhos drills it towards the halfway line, but well controlled there from Saliba. Saliba now gets away from Doué. Saliba midway in the PSG half, tackle from Doué. Saliba saying it should be a free kick, and I think that's exactly what has been given by the German referee. Looked a clear push there from Doué into Saliba. So 2 minutes into the second half, a free kick for Arsenal inside left, 35 yards and goal. Rice passed it down the left wing to Trossard. It's returned to Rice. Rice with the in-swing diving header out the box of Marquinhos. And it's a cushion header now from Rice to Trossard, facing away from goal. And it goes to pass Lewis Skelly, level with the centre circle. Lewis Skelly clips it forwards on the left. And it's headed out of play from Akibi. That will be an Arsenal throw, which is now Nkapie and Trossard linking up from it. Maybe a chance Havertz on the left wing to get a cross in. It's cross blocked from Hakimi. Arsenal still have it with Trossard. Holds it up. Now it's Rice. Rice, 40 yards and goal. Pass to Saliba. Arsenal inside right with Odegaard facing zone up. Odegaard's pass blocked. That's a good tackle there from Odegaard. It will be a throw to PSG. Kvaratskhelia tried to take it past Odegaard. Now a throw taken from Paris Saint-Germain. João Neves just strokes it back to Safanov. 3 minutes gone in the second half. Marquinhos brings it out the box. Marquinhos right-footed. Here's Dembele being charged down by Nkapie. Dembele being forced further and further back, but now finds a bit of space to square it to Neves. And it is Mendes. And knocks it short to Vitinha. A midfield combination between Vitinha and Neves. Vitinha, the latest those midfielders to be on the ball. Vitinha striding over halfway. Still Vitinha, great run, tries to slide it through to Mendes. Mendes out muscles Gabriel. Mendes cuts it back. Vitinha takes the ball touch. Saliba clears it, takes deflection off Mosquera. Now Saka direct towards Havertz. Chests it down the centre circle. Can't find a teammate though. PSG back on the ball on the left. And now here's Doué. Doué against Rice. Desiree Doué. In swing cross towards the back post. Too heavy though for Dembele. And that sums up PSG's meek performance so far in the 49 minutes played. Again, Doué found space to get the cross in, but way too much on it for Ousmane Dembele. Luis Enrique not best pleased about that. So goal kick for Gabriel to start off. Now Riot towards the inside right. Can Saka get the touch? Right, he does do that. Saka turns, but the flag goes up against Saka. I think he may have got to the ball from an offside position. So free kick for Paris Saint-Germain. Deep inside the half, it's taken across the back line now to Marquinhos, who's in the box. Links up with Pacho. Vitinha turns with a bit of room. He's looking forwards for Vitinha. Vitinha play it through the Arsenal press. Still Vitinha. Ødegaard closing down Vitinha. Vitinha just with the drag back to Mendes. Again, down the left to Vitinha. A bit more space now for the Portuguese midfielder. Now Kvaratskhelia turns on the halfway line. Kvaratskhelia in the centre circle. Still Ivica Kvaratskhelia out to the wide right to Dembele. Ousmane Dembele in the attacking third. Great standing challenge there by Nkapie. Clears left-footed. Too high for Havertz. Pacho on the ball. Havertz chasing down. Pacho back for Safanov. First time roll pass from the D. Mendes lays off to Vitinha. And Vitinha has to go back to his goalkeeper. PSG getting 345 passes completed to Arsenal's 84, but only one thing matters for Arsenal, leading by goal still here. Nkapie makes the foul on Hakimi. Just pressing high for his side, so it's a free kick taken short now from PSG. Here's Marquinhos to Vitinha. Vitinha, no real space to pass it forwards, has to go to Pacho in the D. Vitinha once more. Now Vitinha, can he find a midfielder? No, he can't. Squares it across the Arsenal forward line to Marquinhos. And now it's with the midfielder in Ruiz. Dembele. Dembele's pass blocked from Trossard. Spins out for a PSG throw. Taken about 7-8 yards behind the halfway line by João Neves. So Neves throws that a couple of yards behind him to Fabio Ruiz. And that's a foul throw there from João Neves. So that was a mess there from the midfielder. Don't think he'll be on thrones again. Now it's the throw from Arsenal, which goes back to Gabriel. Now Riot clears it long. Can't find Saka. Safanov out of his box, heads away towards the centre circle. Bounce off Fabio Ruiz. He's in the battle with Declan Rice. Then drops to Mosquera, clears it. A flick there from Havertz, but wasn't in tandem with Trossard. And Marquinhos just passed it behind the foot. That face Safanov. Here is Pacho, being closed down from Ødegaard. Mendes. Now Kvaratskhelia knocks it lightly to Vitinha. Now Ruiz. Vitinha, first time over halfway, goes through the legs of Doué. And Gabriel gets onto the ball. It's cleared long from Riot. And just bounced over João Neves, but he was caught on the ball. There's a push there from Trossard on the PSG Portuguese midfielder. João Neves takes the free kick to Pacho. And stretches and posts it to Mendes. On possession is Neves over halfway. On the left to Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia now against Saka. Mosquera. Kvaratskhelia can't get in between the pair, then Saka makes the challenge. So PSG do get the throw. Throw goes back to Vitinha. In the centre circle with Mendes. Now Marquinhos. Marquinhos over halfway, right-footed to Dembele. Against Nkapie. Dembele passing the box now. The sharp turn for João Neves. Neves with the cross. That's in behind of Mendes though. Paul touch and Saka looking to win it back off Doué. Saka makes a challenge. Saka wins it well, but actually the referee has given a free kick against Saka in the end. And a card comes out the referee's pocket and shown towards Saka. A challenge on Doué. Well, I thought the naked eye, he did win it cleanly. Again, the spotlight was on Saka in the first half, where PSG were appealing for a penalty. And I have to say, Saka came in the challenge. His boot brushed Doué's right leg, but I wouldn't say there was any malicious intent in that. I think a yellow card's harsh for Saka there. Obviously, of course, the stud's a shot, and it'll be a painful one for Doué, but I wouldn't say that was... Maybe that was even a free kick, never mind a yellow card. Anyway, PSG, free kick to take here, dead central position. 23, 24 yards and goal. Two full-backs are in conversation. So will it be Hakimi or Mendes to test David Raya? The sun is starting to set slowly here in Budapest. So conversation's still going on. Hakimi looks like he fancies this. Vitinha in the mix as well. So we've got Hakimi, Vitinha, Mendes. Hakimi steps up. Hakimi whips on target, but pretty simple there for Raya to deal with. Low to his right. So Raya now with the throw to Trossard. PSG pressing quickly back to Gabriel. Gabriel launched it towards Havertz. Bounce off of Havertz's chest. No foul given in Havertz's favour. Neves to Marquinhos. Square across the fence to Pacho. Pass over halfway. And there is Kvaratskhelia. Now Fabio Ruiz on the left-hand side. Now Kvaratskhelia. It is PSG on the ball with Desiree Doué. Kvaratskhelia again. Square to Vitinha. Now works Marquinhos, 35 yards and goal. Inside right is Neves close to the area. Hakimi falls to Neves again. Roll back to Hakimi. Now Vitinha, deepest of the midfield trio. Rolls it to his left to Mendes. So PSG wide left with Desiree Doué. Midway in the Arsenal half. Fabio Ruiz. Now it's a half turn for Mendes. Mendes now. Looks to flick it behind him. Just about finds Ruiz. His pass deflects off of Mosquera. And it will be a Paris Saint-Germain throw on the left. It's thrown backwards to Vitinha. Vitinha, not a lot of space to play it forwards. Manages to find a pass down the left to Doué. Now it's a short forward ball down the left flank to Kvaratskhelia on the byline. Kvaratskhelia lifts it in. Bit too high though for Hakimi at the back stick. And Trossard shrugged off the ball from Hakimi. Inside to Fabio Ruiz. Passing the box, cut out though from Trossard. Trossard, simple pass back for Raya. And clears quickly towards the centre circle. Havertz lets it bounce, back into Pacho. A raised arm there from Havertz into Pacho. Looked like it was a raised arm. It's a throat there, Pacho, from Havertz. Havertz defended himself, but oh yeah, definitely actually was leaning with the elbow there, Havertz, into William Pacho. So for me, the right decision to award a free kick in favour of Paris Saint-Germain. Hakimi had the free kick back just under 5 minutes ago, but it's very comfortable for David Raya to deal with. 57.5 minutes on the clock here in Budapest. Arsenal lead the Champions League final by goal to nil. Kai Havertz netting inside the opening 6 minutes. Vitinha in the centre circle, right-footed. Out to Hakimi, in line with Luis Enrique's technical area. Now infield to Doué. To Hakimi, Doué continues his run. It's Hakimi inside to Ruiz. Just under 30 yards and goal. Doué goes backwards to Marquinhos. Across the back in the Arsenal half to Mendes. Now Kvaratskhelia wide left. Midway in the Arsenal half, scoops it over the top towards Mendes. Mendes though just ran into trouble and fouled Saka in the process. Just tumbled over the top of Saka. It's been a great battle between Nuno Mendes and Bukayo Saka in this final. There was a definite pull there on Saka's shirt by Mendes. 58.5 minutes gone here. Arsenal a goal to the good, have a free kick for David Raya to take. So Raya will doubtlessly be going towards Havertz on the right-hand side. Havertz does win a flick on, but when he won the flick on, the ball had already gone out of touch. So it's a throw for Nuno Mendes to take. Mendes surveying his options. Mendes, João Neves coming towards him. And then Mendes throws it behind him to João Neves. It's rolled back in the PSG area. It's poked from Safanov. Marquinhos brings out the box. Square in the D. To Neves. Neves right-footed. And now here's Fabian Ruiz. Inside to Vitinha. Now Marquinhos. Marquinhos right-footed. Dembele. 7-8 yards behind halfway. Now he's moving further back. Dembele, because Nkapie is sticking tight to him. Here is Ruiz on the ball. Vitinha first time. Behind him to Pacho. Vitinha turns. And Rice makes the challenge, times it well. Rice with another challenge on Mendes, but Mendes comes away with it. And then Saka shrugs Mendes off the ball. No, it's a free kick in PSG's favour. Saka just saying to the referee that he uses strength there. Arteta not best pleased about that free kick being given. For me, Saka just used his strength there against Neves. Soft one, hour played in Budapest. Arsenal leading the Champions League final by 0-0. PSG show their mettle, show where they are the reigning champions of Europe. So it's a lovely ball forwards. Marquinhos doing the box, cross towards Dembele, cleared though from Saliba, helped away from Lewis Skelly. PSG have it back. Neves and Vitinha combine. Neves down the inside left, and now Kvaratskhelia on the byline. Kvaratskhelia squeezes across, it's blocked from Mosquera. Corner on the left-hand side for Paris Saint-Germain. Again, Mosquera. Absolute man mountain. Blocking that Kvaratskhelia cross. There's a quite nasty cut on Kvaratskelia's knee. Corner comes in towards near post. Punched away from Raya. Hakimi flicks in the middle of the Arsenal half, behind him to Vitinha. Square to Mendes. PSG down the attacking third. Doué to Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia holds on to the ball on the left. Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, give and go. Kvaratskhelia, was he fouled? The referee points to the spot. It's a penalty. Paris Saint-Germain, is it? Well, I thought you pointed to the spot. It looks like the referee has given a penalty to Paris Saint-Germain. The referee's been surrounded. And will this be looked at by VAR? It looks like PSG do have a penalty. It was a great give and go between Dembele and Kvaratskhelia. So Dembele lined the air and Kvaratskhelia, but looked like the initial contact was inside the box. It was inside the box. Mosquera catching the ankle of Kvaratskhelia, and that was a definite foul there for Mosquera. He didn't get any of the ball, and it was a pretty simple decision for the referee to give it. Again, VR can have a look at it, but for me, that is a penalty. The contact was inside the box. The referee, just to clear up, by the way, did give a penalty straight away. So VAR looking, see this will be overturned, but for me, Mosquera got none of the ball. Caught Kvaratskhelia. Tell Kvaratskhelia been through the walls. He's got a really nasty cut on his knee, which is now having a couple of large plasters over it. The check's over. It's definitely a penalty. And there was a covering man for Mosquera, so there won't be a check for a red card. Yeah, definite penalty there, no doubt. So, huge moment in this final. Mosquera's been brilliant this final, but certainly that's a moment to forget. It was an excellent give and go between Dembele and Kvaratskhelia. So can David Rice step up to the plate? Kvaratskhelia will be allowed back on the field shortly because his gash on his knee had to be treated. So at the moment, Vitinha is holding the ball, but surely be Ousmane Dembele to step up. Well, Vitinha can take penalties, but I presume it will be Dembele against Raya. Huge moment in this final. As it stands, Kai Havertz is the hero. If David Raya was to save this, he would certainly be on that same pedestal as Havertz. So now Dembele is the man to step up. Hands on the hips. Some Arsenal fans can't watch. Can Dembele convert? Deep red Dembele, right foot to penalty, sends right the one way. We're all square in Budapest. Call as your life and the Ballon d'Or winner. Ousmane Dembele strokes the penalty. It's the bottom left-hand corner with his right foot. And that is how to take a penalty under pressure on the biggest stage of them all, the Champions League final. That was an excellent spot kick, just past it, right-footed, to send David Raya the wrong way. And it set up these final 25 minutes perfectly here in the beautiful city of Budapest. And you always felt like there was a twist to come in this final, and we've got it. Mosquera gives away the penalty, and Dembele, who's been scintillated in the knockout stages, punishes Mosquera. So we're all square in Budapest. You're in Timber to come off the bench for Mosquera. So not a great minute or so for Mosquera, giving away the penalty and then being subbed off, but again obviously showing a yellow card as well, Mosquera. So a very sensible substitution from Mikel Arteta. Victor Gyökeres will be coming on to play with Kai Havertz. Martin Odegaard, he's had a really quiet evening. The captain did put a nice through ball to Havertz at the back end of the first half. That's about it. He's been anonymously honest, Odegaard. Victor Gyökeres, we've seen this season, he had moments in him. Could he be the match winner? Who knows what's in store? 66 minutes on the clock. One apiece in the Champions League final. Rice goes on for the restart, head away now. It will be an Arsenal throw. Nuno Mendes got his head on that, bit off balance when he had that, Mendes. Managed to get enough power to nod it out of play. So Timber's throw. Saka keeps in play with his head, take on the chest of Havertz. And then PSG clear it through Fabian Ruiz. To flick up into the air from Gabriel, goes backwards. Headed forwards and Saliba, chest down for Gyökeres for his first touch. Lewis Skelly fighting to win the ball, but just had a tug of Vitinha's shirt. So it will be a free kick for Paris Saint-Germain to take. 67 minutes on the clock. PSG 1, Arsenal 1. Short free kick from Vitinha to Neves. And now here is Pacho. Across to Marquinhos. Goes long. Header met from Gabriel. Bounces on the chest of Trossard. Hooks it now towards Havertz. So flick there from Vitinha. Pacho clears to the left-hand side. Kvaratskhelia takes on his chest. I think the flag has gone up against Arsenal just before PSG cleared it towards the left-hand side. So free kick for an offside against Arsenal. So Marquinhos will be the man to take the free kick for Paris Saint-Germain. Dembele on halfway on the right, holds off Nkapie. Now here's Vitinha, Marquinhos. And square to Vitinha, Neves wants it. Neves back 5 yards behind halfway. Neves, right-footed pass into the feet of Pacho. It's gone square to Mendes. Bit of time for Desiree Doué. Kvaratskhelia now, Doué in the centre circle. Doué has a brilliant pass, floated towards the right. Hakimi, edge of the box, Hakimi, cross block for Nkapie. Arsenal just need to keep themselves in this now. PSG have that momentum. There's plenty of security in front of the PSG end. They've tried to throw a flare or two on the pitch. Certainly set some flares off in the PSG ends after the goal, after the penalty converted. I could see smoke in the air now. Short corner from Dembele to Doué, just inside the box. A few step overs against Declan Rice. Desiree Doué, the ball stopped the moment. Tricky feet from Doué. Just uses Hakimi. And now Dembele wide right. Cross towards the back post. It was always going over the head of William Pacho. It's bounced out for a goal kick. I said a moment ago, Arsenal just need to get their heads here. It's going to be a testing period. Dembele, biggest stage in club football. No problem at all for Ballon d'Or winner, just to sweep that penalty right-footed into David Raya's bottom right corner. Just held his nerve superbly from the spot. Ousmane Dembele, right in front of the PSG fans as well. A special moment for Ousmane Dembele. His 8th goal, 13 Champions League matches this campaign. Just be a quick drinks break for both sides here. An intense heat. It's a lovely evening in Budapest. Perfect setting for the Champions League final. What an arena this is. It's only hosted the Europa League final before. It's in Sevilla and Roma. So 20 minutes to go here in Budapest. Can we have a winner in normal time? So PSG now just about to finish their drinks break. Trossard just getting some strapping. The Arsenal physio. So a little bit concerning to see, but again, I do wonder how long Trossard was stay on for anyway. Regardless if he's strapping or not, but get both sets of fans by the way. Huge credit to them. They're in terrific voice again. Arsenal, pressure's off for them considering they got what they really want this season, which was the league title. First time in 22 years. Champions League would be an absolutely glorious bonus, mind. Still right with a shout of claiming it. Again, that might knock some momentum out of PSG, that drinks break. Arsenal can just regather themselves. So Raya to drill this forwards. Raya now searching for Victor Gyökeres. It bounces towards Havertz, but head away from Pacho. Now head in the air from Timber. And from Neves, now a bit of head tennis here, but now it goes on the ground to Trossard. Trossard tries to throw it through, it's been blocked. Vitinha outside of the right to the left-hand side to Doué. Doué can't keep it in play though. So throw for Arsenal virtually on the halfway line on the far side. Saliba taking a few steps back. It will be Jurrien Timber to take through. So Jurrien Timber's throw back to Saliba now. That's in the Arsenal area where Raya played it through the middle, gives it away though to Hakimi. Hakimi, right-footed. Dembele now in the box. Ousmane Dembele. Dembele on his right foot, tight angle, and scuffs it well wide. And David Raya had his heart in his mouth, and his pass through the middle went straight to Hakimi. Dembele got himself onside, received the pass from Hakimi. Dembele right side the penalty area, but Gabriel closed down the angle brilliantly. An awful effort from Dembele in the end. Straight into the advertising audience. So Raya goes long to Havertz. Head away from Pacho. It's control from Timber. Vitinha now on halfway to Doué. Square to Ruiz. Down left-hand side to Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia slowed himself down against Timber. So it's a new battle for Kvaratskhelia. Saka doubling up. It's rolled back on the inside left now for Neves. Vitinha lines up a shot. Vitinha, different shot, but it's onto the roof for Raya's net. Not a bad attempt there at all from Vitinha. Took it on right-footed, just over 25 yards out. Just couldn't quite dip down the way he was hoping, Vitinha, but not a bad effort though, I'll tell you that. So goal kick, should Gabriel be fully in charge of. Squares it to Hincapié. Hincapié, long to Gyökeres. It's a flip backwards now, Havertz, it skims off the top of his head. Havertz chasing down Pacho, gets it off him. Havertz towards Saka. Saka can't quite get there. We're all saffing off. Now it's an opportunity there for Arsenal. But in the end, just a little bit too much on that layoff from Havertz towards around Saka in the area. PSG pass it from the back now for Ruiz. Doué on halfway. Hakimi, Doué continues his movement down the right hand side. Now Doué's used. Level with the penalty area. Goes back in midfield now to Vitinha. In the centre circle with Pacho. Fabian Ruiz. Couple of touches with his left foot. 35 yards and goal. On the inside left. Knocks it outside the left to Kvaratskhelia. Then Saka and Timber in front of him. Fabian Ruiz is used. Here's Vitinha now in midfield. Neves wants it, but Vitinha goes to a centre-back this time in the shape of Pacho. That's Pacho's partner and skipper Marquinhos. Hakimi, 35 yards and goal. Back to Marquinhos. Pass through the centre circle to Mendes. Wide left with Germain-Arsenal-LIVE. Back to Mendes. PSG enjoying possession in the centre circle. Vitinha advances out to the right-hand side to Hakimi, level with the PSG technical area. Good tackle there from Mcapié. Gyökeres on halfway. Trossard turns. Now Arsenal trying to create a bit of space. Trossard in the centre circle. Trossard twisting, turning. Trossard so slow to release it, but does keep it and gives it to Lewis Skelly. Trossard again, still in the centre circle. Trossard just clipped there from Doué. Free kick for Arsenal with a quarter an hour left here of normal time in this Champions League final. We are locked at 1 apiece at the Puskás Arena. Can we find that winning goal in normal time? So free kick for Arsenal. So again, this one will absolutely be going long towards the likes of Gabriel, Saliba, Havertz. Again, Arsenal, such a physical side, take your pick. David Raya launches free kick, can't get Declan Rice as well. In fact, he's fooled me there, just passed it short. Now to Saliba. So here's Rice on the far side to Saka. Infield to Havertz. Havertz though facing his own half. And Havertz will just dink it back to Raya, right outside his area. Raya midway in the Arsenal half, goes long. Can he find Gyökeres? Just bounces in between Gabriel and Gyökeres. Cleared away from Pacho on the bounce, and it will be an Arsenal throw. Arsenal starting to gain some territory here. Throwing the attacking third, Trossard. Still held up with the midriff of Gyökeres. Trossard to Gyökeres again. Back inside the Trossard, 25 yards and goal, clips into the box. Head away from Pacho. PSG just pinned back here. Trossard inside left out to Mcapié. Mcapié delivers into the box, but it's in behind all the Arsenal attackers. It's still in play though with Timber. The Timber on the far side. Saka against Mendes. Saka jinks in. Saka now looks to go for the curler. Blocked from Kvaratskhelia. Lewis Skelly heads forwards. Flick on for Rice, headed down for Gabriel into the box. Cleared away. Left footed from Pacho. Arsenal win it back. Ruiz dispossesses Rice dispossesses Ruiz. Saka runs into trouble. Neves with the challenge. And Mendes pokes it away. Now PSG on the attack. Kvaratskhelia heads it over the top of Saliba. Now Kvaratskhelia into the box. Kvaratskhelia deflects the shot. And it hasn't gone in. And it's denied from David Raya. And Kvaratskhelia with a brilliant run forwards. Luis Enrique thought that was in for a split second. Kvaratskhelia headed it over. William Saliba sprinted into the box. And in fact, actually, I thought Raya got a hand onto it. It just came off the post. Deflect onto the post, that Kvaratskhelia shot. Short corner from PSG. So Doué with the ball in. Header goes backwards from Lewis Skelly. And it will be another corner kick for PSG. It was such a similar situation which Havertz got himself into the first half. And Kvaratskhelia had plenty of space running to down the left. But it was a vital block. I think Lewis Skelly got the block. It Romford to Raya, came off the post. Martin Odegaard, skipper just watch on helpsy from the bench. Corner comes in. And Raya was trying to be beaten from that corner kick. Dembele attempting it. But Raya wasn't to be caught out. Corner kick from the left, and Raya had that one card. It was a clever idea there from Ousmane Dembele. Things now start to liven up again. Both sides looking to go for it. With that hint occasionally still. So long ball to Gyökeres, laid it down to Havertz. Nice turn for Rice in the attacking third. Here's Saka. Right side of the box, Saka. Shot blocked. And Mendes clears his lines towards the centre circle. Headed down from Saliba. Lewis Skelly. Dispossessing Doué. Desiree Doué. Trying to get away from Lewis Skelly. Lewis Skelly keeps pace. Lewis Skelly excellent tracking back there. And then wins the free kick as well. That is how to make up for losing the ball. Take a bow. Miles Lewis Skelly. More than made up for Doué, dispossessed him. Terrific athleticism, especially in this heat. Lewis Skelly won it back, then had it covered, knew the contact was coming from Doué. Won that free kick. And Arsenal now can get it back upfield, and as vital there from Lewis Skelly. Noni Madueke to come on. Could he be the hero off the bench? Who knows? He's had a mixed season. Madueke is going to the World Cup. Martinelli, another big trump card as well off the bench. Long ball flicked on. And now Arsenal in the box here. Trossard miscontrols it. Cleared away for Mendes. Vitinha. Kvaratskhelia back now for Ruiz. Fabian Ruiz reserves the ball well. Whips it left-footed. Control with the right knee of Achraf Hakimi. So PSG over halfway. PSG yet to make a sub, by the way. So PSG in the last 15 minutes, 58% possession, 4 attempts to Arsenal's 1. Then the 1 on target for Paris Saint-Germain. Just knocking the ball about. And of course, that came from the penalty spot from Ousmane Dembele. Vitinha in the centre circle. PSG just slowing it down. 10 minutes, a normal time to go in Budapest. 1 apiece, it's set up perfectly. Here is Vitinha. Vitinha right-footed. And now Marquinhos. Madueke and Martinelli both still waiting to come on. Hakimi, and now here is Ruiz. The arse in front of halfway. Marquinhos, pass goes through the centre circle. Neves takes it into the Arsenal half. Only just inside it. Neves in possession again. Square to Dembele. So PSG inside left now. With Kvaratskhelia. Reaching Kvaratskhelia into the box. Kvaratskhelia, 3-minute round him, still has it. Kvaratskhelia with the back heel now, he's tackled. Now Lewis Skelly sprinting forwards towards the halfway line. He's dispossessed though. Now Vitinha. Here is Desiree Doué. Left-hand side, now into the box. Doué tries to get a cross in, blocked from Saliba. And that looked to deflect it back off Doué. Will it be a corner kick or not? I think it's a goal kick. So Madueke and Martinelli now have their cue to come on here for Arsenal. So could we be looking at the 2 difference makers here? Oh, it is a corner to Paris Saint-Germain. I thought it deflected off of Doué last. But PSG do have the corner to take on the left-hand side. So Lewis Skelly just down inside the 6-yard box here. A slight push from Marquinhos. I think Lewis Skelly making a bit of a meal out of it, but he's had a brilliant game, Lewis Skelly. I have to say that. Second youngest Englishman to start the Champions League final. Corner from Dembele, head of the near post, it's over. Scare there for Arsenal, but they survive it. William Pacho met it at the near post. And now that's the cue for Madueke and Martinelli to come on with 8 minutes left. So Gabriel Martinelli, he's been on a hell of a journey with Arsenal. Noni Madueke, it's opening season with the Gunners, but what an open season it could be. It's already a brilliant opening season, obviously winning the Premier League title, but I were to get Champions League as well. Be sensational as well as an England call-up. So Saka and Trossard off. And Madueke and Martinelli on. So PSG making their first substitution. Vicha Kvaratskhelia hasn't had the sort of final he was hoping for. Bradley Barcola, the opening substitute to come on for Paris Saint-Germain. So a disappointing evening for Kvaratskhelia personally, but hoping that his team can do the job. So goal kick from Raya. Well, bounces through towards Havertz. Havertz, can he take it down? Heavy touch. It's now on the left wing with Victor Gyökeres. Gyökeres backwards to Nkapie. Arsenal level with the centre circle with Gabriel. Chip from Nkapie. Headed from Havertz down to Pierre Nkapie. Now to touch into the box towards Gyökeres. From right, it's cleared away from Marquinhos. So bit of pressure here from Arsenal. Throw on the left-hand side for Marquinhos to take. That's for Nkapie to take, actually. I saw number 5 for some reason. Marquinhos came out of mouth. It is Nkapie. In fact, Nkapie won't even take this throw now. It will be Declan Rice to go for the long throw for Arsenal with 6 minutes, a normal time to go. Paris Saint-Germain 1, Arsenal 1. 2026 Champions League final. Rice with a long throw. It's flicked on, it's bounced in the box, it's cleared away from João Neves. Only as far as Saliba. First time for Saka wide left for PSG, clear it away from Fabian Ruiz. Now over the top, down the left-hand side now, PSG. In behind him, Barkler takes a heavy touch, right, gets down onto it and takes it away from the right foot of Bradley Barkler. Brave goalkeeping there from David Raya, but the throw from Raya is given straight to Fabian Ruiz. Flick from Barkler, but Arsenal clear away. First time from Rice. Now Martinelli trying to come forward to the ball, but instead goes into trouble. Marquinhos. Vitinha, 30 yards out. Vitinha, shot blocked with the back of Declan Rice. João Neves, deepest of the midfielders. Just lays it back in this half to Safanov. That was great goalkeeping from Ryan a moment ago. 5 minutes of normal time left there in Budapest. Paris Saint-Germain 1, Arsenal 1. Marquinhos in the centre circle. It's gone square to Vitinha. And now Fabian Ruiz in control of the ball. Vitinha still in the centre circle, square to Marquinhos, who's also inside it. Now wide right to Desiree Doué. First time to Hakimi. Doué trying to get him behind of Nkapie, but Hakimi goes backwards to Neves. Here's Hakimi, leaves it for Doué. And now it is Neves on the ball. And Vitinha square to Fabian Ruiz, left-footed. So PSG wide left at the moment with Barkler. That's in central midfield again with Vitinha. In line them is Marquinhos. Forward pass now to the attacking third with Hakimi. Trying to wrong foot Martinelli. Martinelli blocks Hakimi's cross. Nkapie goes down. It will be a corner kick for PSG. 4 minutes remaining. What a chance of Barkler a moment ago. It's such a heavy touch over Barkler. Real rusty one. And Raya got down onto the ball, took it away. Right foot Bradley Barkler. That was a big chance of Barkler. So Dembele corner in for the right. Goes straight on, then headed out the box. Madueke. Vitinha hits it down to the ground. And out the air from Luis Gay. That's a completely miss-hit clearance there from Mendes on halfway. But he gets back now. Martinelli over it's that pass to Madueke. And a chance for Arsenal to get in. Goes begging. The two subs couldn't combine. Nuno Mendes is one mightily relieved man. Ruiz left-footed. PSG just in front of halfway with Neves. It is Fabian Ruiz. Now Vitinha in the centre circle. 3 minutes of normal time to go. Paris Saint-Germain 1, Arsenal 1 in the 2026 Champions League final. Beautiful evening here. Hungarian capital Budapest. In the centre circle, Marquinhos. Now it's out wide to the near side to Desiree Doué. Doué. Infield Hakimi gets the cross in. Flicked on from Barkler. Headed out the box by Timber. Only as far as Fabian Ruiz. Sends it back in. Header from Hakimi, the back post. And that's well out of play there. It was a very tight angle for Hakimi. He did well to get his head on it, but Ruiz's delivery. Hakimi coming onto it late. Did rise above Nkapie, but miles off target. And speaking of Nkapie, it was about just 5 minutes ago now. He flicked on that long throw from Rice, and PSG managed to get it away through Pacho, but I was real scared of PSG when Nkapie got first contact on that Rice long throw. So 2 minutes of normal time left in Budapest. One apiece. Arsenal go long. Flicked up on Havertz onto Jesse Gyökeres. Cleared from Marquinhos. Helped on the back of Doué's head. The ball's still rolling in play. Nkapie holds off Doué. It'll be an Arsenal throw by the PSG technical area. Nkapie takes to Gabriel. Bit of room now on halfway for Martinelli. Martinelli taking his time on the ball. Nkapie goes back into the feet of Gabriel. Gabriel left-footed. Now it's with Raya. David Raya. Direct with his right boot. Right for the middle foot, Gyökeres. Gyökeres lays it off, has no one beside him. Square onto his right. It's only Mendes who picks it up. Mendes long to Doué. What a ball to Desiree Doué. Doué now step over in the box. Doué slips but out, forced to Vitinha. And it's shot onto the roof of the net. Big shot at PSG to go in front with a minute normal time left. But Vitinha couldn't keep it down. And Vitinha knows that was a big chance. What a ball from Mendes. It was a peach of a pass to Doué. Doué, a few step-overs in the box, slipped, but managed to get a toe poke onto the ball for it to find Vitinha, who was inside the D. First-time effort, swept with his right boot. If that was on target, that was definitely going in. But it was onto the roof of Rye's net instead of into the top corner of the net. And Rye is down with an issue here. He was full stretch to that Vitinha effort. And do wonder, just an awkward fall for Rye. Again, both sets of fans watching on with nerds, but still in great voice here. It's been such a tense Champions League final in Budapest. It looks like another substitution being made. Seen it will be for. So we have six, in fact, actually, sorry, no substitution. It's the amount of stoppage time, of course. And it is 6 minutes of stoppage time. There was 6 minutes added on at the end of the first half. And it is the exact same for the end of normal time. If we can't find the third goal of this match, then we are going to extra time. Nail-biting stuff in Budapest. Dembele just talking here with William Patro, Vitinha. Let's have a quick conversation with Dembele as well. So Rye is still being treated here. And Arsenal will be fraying that something serious, of course, with the prospect of this going to penalty kicks. So both sets of players are giving absolutely everything. Yeah, goal scoring wise, it's not been, it's not been a flourish of goals, but it's a final. It is going to be tense, but I think it's been a high standard final. As you expect, between Arsenal have had a perfect record in the league phase, and they've been excellent, unbeaten in the Champions League this season. That says it already. Against the reigning European champions, Neves flicks on Gabriel's goal kick backwards, then it's volleyed away from Fabian Ruiz. So it's Rice down the right hand side, poor pass to Mendes. It's with Barkla. It's a good stretch and right foot tackle from Rice. Will be a throw to PSG. So coming up to the second minute of stoppage time, minus 6 minutes added on in total. Can't find a winner. It is extra time. So Dembele just hobbling a bit here. And Luis Enrique will hoping that Dembele can just walk it off. Not a great sign here. Doesn't seem to be moving well on this right foot, Dembele. So throw from PSG. Mendes throw headed down from Lewis Skelly. Rice clips it down the far side. Gyökeres controls the midriff. He's tackled. Now Vitinha bundled to the ground from Neves bundled to the ground from Victor Gyökeres. It's a free kick for Paris Saint-Germain. 4 or 5 yards behind the halfway line. Vitinha passed it to Neves. Vitinha again. Now Fabian Ruiz gets a piece of the ball. Marquinhos rolled over halfway. Doué 5 yards into the Arsenal half. Centre circle with Ruiz. Here's Vitinha. Gonçalo Ramos is coming on shortly. So here's a player who can get that goal for you. Now Ruiz down the inside right for Doué. It's wide right with Hakimi. Doué lays it back to Hakimi. Backwards on their side to Fabian Ruiz. We're midway into the 6 minutes of stoppage time. PSG 1, Arsenal 1. It is Vitinha. Square to Marquinhos. Fabian Ruiz walking with the ball. 30 yards from the target. Doué turns, edge of the box. On the right hand side, Desiree Doué gets a crossing, cleared away, but it's back out to Doué. Doué, ball in the outside of his right boot, flicked up in the air from Barkla, edge of the box. Barkla heads back. Mendes square to Patro in the centre circle. Marquinhos. Now to Fabian Ruiz. Ruiz just about gets his pass behind him to Marquinhos. Hakimi now. Inside to Ruiz, back to Hakimi. PSG midway in the Arsenal half. So here is João Neves to Marquinhos by the centre circle. Here's the pass across it to Vitinha. Rolls it wide left to Mendes. Arsenal in the low block with 2 minutes of stoppage time left. one apiece in the 2026 Champions League final. Marquinhos now out to Hakimi, level with the penalty area. João Neves turns wide right. Again, Neves goes to Vitinha, 35 yards from goal. Moves it along to Mendes. Now can PSG get across, and it's a passing field to Vitinha instead. Mendes once more. And now here is Marquinhos. Marquinhos in the attacking third. Hakimi close to the box. Fabian Ruiz pokes it to Hakimi. Can PSG create one last chance? Because Arsenal are just sitting in now. They want extra time. Vitinha to Fabian Ruiz. Overlap around Desiree Doué. Ruiz puts the cross in. Headed away though from Timber. Well, maybe Arsenal can have a counter. Madueke to Havertz. Havertz holds up. Havertz goes down. We now have 1 minute stoppage time left, and yellow card shown to João Neves as well. Great work there from Kai Havertz to win the free kick. And a yellow card shown to João Neves. That was a definite nudge there from Neves to bundle down Havertz. So Ousmane Dembele is off. Gonçalo Ramos on. So Desiree Doué is the last survivor of the front three. So Gonçalo Ramos does have that focal point for the side. The Ballon d'Or winner is off, but he did score the penalty though, which got PSG the equaliser. Great combination play, Team Germain-Arsenal and Dembele to win the penalty. Dembele dispatched very, very well under extreme pressure. Free kick for Arsenal. So just 5 seconds left before we go to extra time as it stands. Gabriel heads on the free kick, headed away on his far right. Can Arsenal win it? Gabriel inside left, edge of the box. Martinelli puts the cross in towards the back post. Headed away though, then volleyed from Fabian Ruiz. So over the 6 minutes, but we're still playing on. Saliba lifts it. It's the wide right to Madueke. And now Timber turns. Arsenal have it. 30 yards and goal. Cross comes in. Headed away from Marquinhos. Rice missing controls. Now can PSG counter. It's Doué. It's the feet of Barkla. Barkla through here. Barkla tight angle now. Barkla shot. And it's over. A waste there for Bradley Barkla on a counter attack. And Arsenal can breathe a sigh of relief. Arsenal went for it there. But Barkla's shot straight into the side netting. What a waste from Barkla again. I can't say he's covered himself in glory since coming on. And goal kick for Ryan State. We're a minute over the 6. And there goes the final whistle for the 90. We are going to extra time in the Champions League final. Arsenal have given it everything to keep themselves in it. They could have even won it with some of the territory they gained. So the last quarter now, but PSG had their chances as well. Havertz opened the scoring in the opening 6 minutes after Marquinhos' mistake. Smashed it into the roof net. Ousmane Dembele, though, with 25 minutes left, combined with the Kavicha Kvaratskhelia, it was a foul from Christian Mosquera on Kvaratskhelia. And Dembele dispatched the penalty. Bradley Barkla, since coming on, has had the 2 best moments. Running into space on counter-attacks. First one was an awful touch, and Ryan managed to get down, claim the ball. But then just a moment ago, Barkla striking into the side netting with the last kick of normal time. In Arsenal, they did gain territory, as I mentioned a moment ago, as the second half went on, but couldn't really severely tear Safanov. Of course, Arsenal, they just need to find that one moment. They've got Gyökeres on with Havertz at the moment. So both sides having a much needed quick rest as Arteta now right in the centre of things in his dark grey t-shirt. And in the centre of the huddle, giving out his instructions, and I have to say it's not too surprising this has gone to extra time, this final. You felt it could be a tight one. Again, the clearance from Marquinhos in those opening 6 minutes Sure, that might be playing on his mind a bit. If he hadn't have done that, then we would think if PSG have gone to win it comfortably, maybe. What a strike it was from Havertz into the roof net. That's why he got the nod over Gyökeres to start. They are now both together. Dembele did so well, the spot kick. Stroke it on, but him and Kvaratskhelia now off. It is Barcola and Ramos on with Doué in that front line. So again, we just getting a little massage at the moment. Well, it's Doué, so that'll be much needed for a fair few of the players. They'll be really feeling those tired legs. And PSG, just the character they have, you felt they were going to, at the very least, take it to extra time. That's exactly what they've done now. Can they take it? They're going to go that one step further and get another Champions League on their belt. So some tactical instructions given here to Zubimendi and Eze. So Mikel Arteta will be shoring up the midfield. Germain-Arsenal just coming across to Mars Lewis Skelly. So Declan Rice as well, just seen some instructions, but haven't even started extra time yet. And this Arsenal fan just can't even bear to watch. He's had his head down on his arm at the moment. It's just, that's the tension, that's the nerves. Arsenal in search of their first ever Champions League. And it would be the ice on the cake to go with their long-awaited Premier League title win. So Arsenal just had that quick huddle now, just exclusively involving the players. So they're ready to kick off extra time. And it does look like that Eze and Zubimendi will be coming on. So Lewis Skelly, he's had an excellent game. He is making way for Zubimendi. And Abere Eze is now coming on for Kai Havertz. So it's Gyökeres just leading the line by himself. But Eze's that sort of moments player. He can create something out of nothing. This is the night where Arsenal really need to produce that sort of moment and give them that bit of magic in the final third. So coin toss now going on between Rice and Marquinhos for extra time. So we are all ready to get underway. So let's see if we can get a winner in extra time. Again, Arsenal defended outstandingly. And I think they would favour the penalties maybe the most over Paris Saint-Germain. Eze, could he be that match winner? And Gyökeres needs that little spark behind him. He and Havertz a little bit too similar at times. So Arsenal with the kick-off in, the fancy kick-off where they flick it up to themselves. Declan Rice smash it forwards and PSG get it clear. Now Rice, first time, down left-hand side, PSG win it back. It's here with Vitinha. Vitinha bundled down to the ground. And Zubimendi. So free kick for PSG. Just shy of halfway. It looked like it was Martinelli, not Zubimendi, with that clumsy challenge. So PSG take the free kick short. That's Vitinha and Neves combining. Now Mendes on the ball. Mendes. Left-footed pass. Across the face of Pacho to Marquinhos. Lifts it over halfway. Nice first touch there from Hakimi. It's massive of PSG that he was fit for this final. Hakimi on the halfway line. Behind him to Vitinha. So Vitinha square now into the feet of Nuno Mendes. So first minute of extra time completed. Mendes. Now it is a tricky feet from Bradley Barcola. Trying to nutmeg Noni Madueke. First time for Mendes over halfway, but gives it straight to Declan Rice. Timber turns. Rice now. Can Rice play it down line? Rice looks towards halfway. Eze controls. Eze now to Madueke. Here come Arsenal. Wide right. Madueke into the box. Madueke low ball in. It's cleared behind for Pacho. for a corner kick. That was really good link-up play there from Arsenal. Rice, Eze, Madueke involved. Madueke swept the low ball in, looking for Gyökeres. But Pacho was there to clear at the near post. So corner kick on the right-hand side for Arsenal to take in front of the Paris Saint-Germain supporters. So Noni Madueke pass the ball down. Can Arsenal retake the lead in the early stages of extra time? And they cause damage from a corner kick once again this season. Madueke's corner in, headed away at the near post from Gonzalo Ramos. So another corner kick for Arsenal on the right-hand side. So let's see if this one could be more testing delivery from Noni Madueke. So Madueke already now, he maybe switched up and goes short. Don't think so. I think just want to get this one straight in. So Madueke in swinger to come in from the right-hand side. Madueke's corner kick straight to the side netting. Two very under par corners there for Noni Madueke. And it's such a weapon that Arsenal have from corner kicks. Tend to be deeply frustrated with the quality of those corners. Noni Madueke. And PSG always felt they were going to perform better in the second half, and exactly what they did, and they had a couple of moments of Barkley to try and win it. So Safanov's goal kick straight out of play. Nice catch there from Mikel Arteta in his technical area. So a throw for Jurrien Timber to take. Timber, the throw it square across halfway. Timber throws it backwards on that right hand side to Saliba. And now Raya in the D. David Raya. A long right-footed pass. Search for Eze. Header from Pacho. Now first side from Timber, but heavy touch there from Timber. Cleared away from João Neves. Arsenal with Saliba. Back for Raya. First time with his right foot. Header square there from Pacho. Nice touch from Madueke. Left-footed. So Madueke cuts in. Noni Madueke. Now Arsenal hold up edge of box. Now with Timber, it's a foul there from Timber on João Neves. Timber in disbelief. And that was a great opportunity for him as well to turn and maybe get a shot or a crossing in the area. The referee, well, he had a good view of that. Was there a raised arm for Neves? Oh, Timber's hand when it brushed Neves' face, but there's no doubt that Neves made the most out of it. Another substitution for PSG. Warren Zaïre-Emery to come on. So Fabian Ruiz making way midfield. Can Zaïre-Emery just had that bit of trickery and drive. Of course, he's played right back quite a bit this season. Warren Zaïre-Emery. So we're 5 minutes into extra time. PSG 1, Arsenal 1. So Safanov's free kick, but that evades Gonzalo Ramos. So a throw for Arsenal. Just under halfway in their territory for Jurrien Timber to release. I think Luis Enrique wants Arsenal to get a move on with the throw. So I'm still wide open, Luis Enrique. Timber throws it back to Saliba. It is Raya. Raya pings it. Daisy cutter pass towards left. Just evades left foot of Piero Hincapié. And that will be throw for PSG to take on halfway. Hakimi assessing his options. Hakimi now, it's a short throw. Now it's a Doué back into the feet of Marquinhos. Safanov. It is Mendes. Mendes left-footed. And running onto it is Barkley. Good tackle there from Timber, but the ball goes back into the feet of Nuno Mendes. Madueke trying to block off Mendes' passing avenue. Rice wins it back very well against Zaïre-Emery. Now Eze, first line pass, Eze box, but can't feed it to Timber. And a good opportunity goes astray there for Arsenal to try and create an attack. Mendes short for Zaïre-Emery. His clearance takes deflection over Eze. Now the ball stops and it finds Timber. Inside right. Rice now to Madueke. Infield to Timber, edge of the box. Pass it in the air. Gyökeres lets it run across him then. Neves comes away with the ball. And he's clipped there from Gyökeres. Free kick for PSG. Neves wants to take it quickly, but it's too quickly for the referee's liking. There'll have to be a second attempt there for João Neves to take the free kick. So right-footed free kick, Marquinhos. It's flicked on to Gonçalo Ramos, but it's great work there from Gabriel to get himself into Ramos on the ball. Play it back to Raya. Raya goes long towards Gyökeres. Head away from Marquinhos. Flick from Doué. Header from Vitinha. Desiree Doué again. First time for Neves. That's a poor pass though. Easily controlled from Nkapie. Nkapie brings it over halfway. Now Martinelli. Gyökeres peels up wide on left hand side. Gyökeres 40 yards and goal. Sliding challenge on Gyökeres from Marquinhos, who stopped tight to him. Now Ramos through the middle. Ramos pulled back from Gyökeres, who's made up for losing the ball but does receive a yellow card. Gyökeres for the pullback on Ramos. I think Gyökeres is thinking that had to be one he just had to take for the team there. And a clear pullback on his fellow striker, but it's a great challenge from Marquinhos on Gyökeres, and then Ramos had support. Barcola, close man to him, forwards to his left, and there was a definite pull from Gyökeres at the back of Ramos' shirt. So free kick for Vitinha to attempt. Vitinha pushing 30 yards out from goal. Maybe even a tad more than that. So Vitinha will look to put this one towards the back post. There's no way he can go for it from here. So Vitinha already take the free kick on the inside right. Vitinha again towards the back post, flicked away from Saliba. Only as far as Pacho. Pacho cross blocked from Zubimendi. It'll be a throw on the left hand side for Paris Saint-Germain. And Ousmane Dembele sitting on the bench, unhappy about something. Quite sure, and that's Nuno Mendes with the throw. 25 yards to goal, number 25 throws it back to Zaire Emery. Vitinha. We're on Zaire Emery, inside left. Now here is João Neves, back towards the centre circle. Vitinha on the ball. Marquinhos brings it over halfway. Marquinhos now short right-footed pass to Zaire Emery in the centre circle. Nuno Mendes rolls it square to Vitinha. Now Vitinha is right-footed to Hakimi, just inverting. So PSG in the centre circle with Vitinha. Vitinha again square to Achraf Hakimi. Now sharp turn from Ramos, who's peeled out wide right. Back inside to Hakimi. Hakimi now driving towards Watts. Hakimi curling strike, but miles over the bar. Patient build-up play for Paris Saint-Germain, but the Hakimi finish was left wanting there. Wrapped his left foot around the ball, just shy of 25 yards out. Ball there from Achraf Hakimi. Albeit some would say it's the wrong man to take on that strike. You would have wanted a Desiree Doué trying to curl that one top corner. So 5 minutes of the first half of extra time left. And Kai Havertz just watching on helplessly for the sidelines, his fingers crossed. And both sets of supporters in great voice in Budapest. Header from Zaire Emery from the goal kick. Comes off Vitinha. Now Hakimi. Back to Marquinhos. Pacho on the line of the PSG box. Pacho. Eze crosses the eye line. Pacho just clears it long. And Arteta very good at catching the ball this evening. Arteta. It's another catch to add to the list. He gives it to Timber to take the throw. And the throw will be taken just ahead of halfway. I think Luis Enrique is saying he wants the throw taken a few yards further back, but Timber takes the throw to Eze. That's in the centre circle with Gabriel. Gabriel now over halfway. Gabriel clips it left-footed. He will find Noni Madueke. Kills the ball stone dead, left-footed. Madueke now trying to take it around Mendes. Madueke towards Madueke, goes down, and it's the referee. No, referee waves it away. I thought for a split second he was going to point to the spot. but he has waved it away. Bradley Barcola. And now Zaire on the half turn. Arteta still appealing for the penalty, but his players need to get back here. Vitinha in the centre circle. PSG actually attacking pretty slowly here. Doué wide right, but they are in the attacking third, PSG. But Arsenal get everyone back. Zaire to Doué. Now it's Zaire again. See that from Hakimi. Marquinhos. 35 yards from goal. Skipper goes short and square to Vitinha. Dinks it now. Wide right. Hakimi feints put across in. Uses Zaire instead. Hakimi again. Doué in support. Doué dummies it for Vitinha. Vitinha's pass controlled on the right hand side from Zaire. Can Hakimi send across it? Zaire now. PSG just inside the box with Doué. Doué challenged, but here's Neves. Flick towards Neves inside the area, then Gabriel just smashed it clear. It's the Paris Saint-Germain half. Now Arsenal can push up, but Gabriel Rice furious at VAR and not looking at the Madueke tumble in the box. It is PSG in defence, Marquinhos, and Rice yellow carded by the German referee for continuous protest. I don't know if Gabriel might join in the book as well. I think Arteta actually has been booked by the referee. Well, Declan Rice definitely went in the book. And the referee's actually stopped play here to talk to Eze as well. So Arteta was the other man who went in the book, and Arteta has incensed it. Again, Madueke, I'll tell you what, you've seen them given. You've seen them given. Do wonder Madueke was just having his left arm pulled back. Again, I wouldn't call it a stonewaller, but certainly Arsenal do have a case there. And Nketiah now just down the ground. I don't know if it's anything serious for Nketiah, but certainly a worrying moment though, a moment ago for PSG when Madueke did round Mendes, and it's just a question whether was there enough contact for Madueke to go down. And again, referee may look at it as a shoulder to shoulder. Maybe did Madueke have his arm locked into the PSG fullback. Tension is supreme around Budapest. Now 30 seconds of 30 seconds left at the first half extra time. So it's a short free kick from PSG, cross halfway. That's Marquinhos down that right hand side. It is Barcola on the ball. Doué's moved out to the left. Ramos joins in the play. Hakimi has his right foot on top of the ball. Hakimi turns and goes back to Vitinha. Runs over the right foot, Vitinha, but no one behind it. No Arsenal playing behind him. Arsenal just push back here. So PSG might be looking to make a substitution shortly. They're just in possession behind the halfway line with Marquinhos. It looks like Lucas Beraldo will be coming on for Paris Saint-Germain soon. So it's a pass from Mendes on halfway to Doué. Back with Mendes. Here's Pacho. Square to Marquinhos. Marquinhos onto his right foot. Now here's Vitinha. 2 yards to João Neves. Neves coming up to the halfway line. João Neves stops the ball. Then tap pass to Hakimi. Neves again. Is it through the centre circle? So PSG just calm on the ball here. Pacho to Vitinha, of course, though both sets of players will not want to make that mistake. So Neves down the right. A few step overs here from Hakimi. Can he get a ball in? Hakimi looks to go over the cross. Well blocked there from Martinelli. They come back off Hakimi. It looks like PSG got the throws from midway into the 2 minutes. Stoppage time in the first half extra time. Blimey, that's a mouthful to say. So throw goes back from PSG. It is Pacho now in the centre circle. Lifted forward to Mendes. Too high for Desiree Doué. There is a long ball now from Saliba. Bounce off the chest of Eze. Hasn't got into extra time so far. Zaire now towards Ramos. Ramos can't hold it up. Madueke on halfway. Now turns back to his own half. Square to Saliba. Eze on halfway. 20 seconds of stoppage time. First half of extra time to go. Gabriel. And now it'll be width from Nkapie. Down left. It's a flick from Gyökeres. Couldn't quite find the movement of Martinelli. So throw taken for PSG. So there is the first half of extra time up. Yeah, no real significant chances created in that time, but Arsenal furious that VAR at least didn't have a look at Madueke going down inside the box. There's a tumult in him and Mendes. I have to say, I think looking at it again, I think Madueke does instigate it a bit, and he seems to have his arm locked in to the PSG man. There's the battle to him, Mendes, and yeah, for me, I don't think there was enough actually to give a penalty. Obviously, tensions are high, and I can understand that. See, the naked eye, maybe Declan Rice and Mikel Arteta, would think that is a penalty, but both receive yellow cards, their protest. So, and Arteta, not with a rousing speech, but just giving a few sharp instructions to his players, and Luis Enrique likewise. Yeah, extra time is a tough one again. Both players dead in their feet. It's requiring on those substitutes, maybe those fresh legs, of course, that come up with that big moment. Again, just have 15 minutes left. Can't find that goal. It will be the dreaded penalty shootout to the side. The 2025-26 Champions League winner. Luis Enrique now. And just a few intense instructions actually to his skipper, Marquinhos, probably to relay on to teammates, because Luis Enrique can't exactly go around every player when again they're just being massaged and stretched quickly. So Martinelli just trying to G up his teammates. Calls the skipper Madueke. Just in conversation with Arteta, but I'd probably say that Madueke penalty appeal, I wouldn't say it was enough in that. Looking at it again to give it. So Arsenal now, they're all ready to start the last half of extra time. But PSG actually bringing on some defensive reinforcements, interestingly, so just want those fresh legs. Actually, Vitinha and Marquinhos are the pair making way. So it will be Lucas Beraldo, Zabarnyi, and Ilya Zabarnyi to come on. Vitinha just throws away, I think, his shin pad of frustration. So he will take no more part in this Champions League final. Again, Marquinhos, such an experienced player, but just one of those fresher legs. Luis Enrique. Maybe, of course, I think the penalty shootout as well. You just trust Beraldo and Zabarnyi a little bit more in that situation. I personally think, though, it's just those fresh legs for all the extra time. Again, nail-biting stuff here. 15 minutes to go of extra time, and yeah, Vitinha definitely showing his anger, unsurprisingly. Being taken off, so PSG to get the second half of extra time underway here in Budapest. Now I think they'll just go for one of those launch restarts. If PSG so Gonçalo Ramos to get the second half extra time off. They actually feigned to go long, instead goes back to Beraldo. He'll be playing ahead of Vitinha now midfield. So here is Mendes on the ball. And now Pacho. Square to Zabarnyi. Zabarnyi, right footed. Now Pacho, left foot on top of the ball. Pacho goes square to Nuno Mendes. It is William Pacho again. Across to Hakimi. Now Pacho on the ball once more. PSG just starting off extra time, playing slowly across the back. So Mendes direct, over the top. It's a run here from Gonzalo Ramos. Now Zaire has it. Level with the penalty area. Holds it up, brings Barcola into play. Now PSG go back from Beraldo to Mendes. Mendes plays it through the centre circle. Zabarnyi. Barcola now wide right, he wants it into feet, but Zabarnyi goes short in the centre circle to Beraldo. Nuno Mendes, left-footed. Looks like PSG are playing a back three here. So it's a diagonal ball into the box. Barcola wins the header, and Ryan punch it away on his far. João Neves, but can't control it properly. Just bounced off the right foot of Neves, out of the box, and Timber. His clearance takes deflection. It'll be an Arsenal throw. A diagonal ball into the box, and Zaire Barcola won the header, but Raya clawed it away. It's a great header from Barcola above Nkapie. And Raya vitally just beat Gonzalo Ramos to the ball. So throw now from Arsenal. Header forwards from Zubimendi. And down from Mendes. Arsenal now lose possession on their right hand side. It is Neves into the feet of Barcola now down the line. And Arsenal fights from the ball back. Now PSG into the area with Desiree Doué. Doué goes to curl. It's been blocked from Rice. That's squared to Zabarnyi. Zabarnyi 30 yards and goal inside right. Now Hakimi. Infield to Zaire Emery. Hakimi again. Hakimi sends the cross in, easily caught from Raya. It's near post. It was very brave goalkeeping from Raya a moment ago. And Barcola won that header. And Ramos was desperate to get his toe in onto the ball. So Raya. Ball looping towards the centre circle. Eze didn't get the top right, but it just dropped to Rice now in the centre circle. Square to Nkapie. That was to Gabriel. Now here's Raya. David Raya drills it through the middle. Helped on from Rice. Hooks it towards Declan Rice. Header from Beraldo. And he's fast Timber. Nice turn for Timber. Away from João Neves. So it's wide right with Noni Madueke against Desiree Doué. Cuts inside of him. Madueke looks to be tripped up. And the referee had a good view. And it'll be a free kick for Arsenal. Wide right, Arsenal shooting towards their own fans in the final half extra time. Is it meant to be Arsenal scoring that winning goal in front of their supporters? As Madueke had his right leg taken out by Desiree Doué. So free kick wide right for the Gunners to take. This will be a testing ball from Declan Rice. And this is Arsenal's speciality, set piece situations. Declan Rice just making sure everyone is in the right place. A free kick wide right for Declan Rice to take, but 24-25 yards from goal. Rice swings it in, punched away from Safanov. And now it is PSG on the ball with Hakimi. Hakimi holds it up. Was this when the captain's armband now with Marquinhos off. Zabarnyi squares in the box. Now time for PSG on the ball. Nuno Mendes takes out the area. 4 minutes into the second half extra time. Lovely direct ball from Mendes. It finds Zaire Emery, who's there pushed down Barcola. Referee waves play on now. Zaire Emery out-muscled from Martinelli. So Arsenal with Nkapie. Nkapie now looks to try and set where Gyökeres. He's on the chase against Zabarnyi. But Zabarnyi composed back here for Safanov. As Safanov picks out João Neves. Neves is over halfway. Neves lets the ball slow down. Neves a few more touches on the ball. Neves 30 yards and goal. Short to Hakimi. Back to Neves. Controls on the stretch. Hakimi again. Infield to Doué. Taps it to Neves. Arsenal have nearly everyone behind the ball. And now here is Beraldo. To Patro in the centre circle. Square to Mendes. So PSG building on the left-hand side. Here is Beraldo pushed high in the left wing. Beraldo turns. Just has to roll it backwards to Nuno Mendes. Mendes now across the back line to Zabarnyi. 10 yards in the Arsenal half. Hakimi. Infield to Doué. So we have 10 minutes of extra time left here in Budapest. Set up perfectly. One apiece between Paris Saint-Germain and Arsenal. Dembele's penalty cancelling out Havertz's opener in the opening 6 minutes of the match. Zabarnyi rolls it down the right for Hakimi. Down the line for Neves. Now Neves trying to turn away from Zubimendi. Neves on the byline. Neves cross-bot from Zubimendi. Has it gone out of play? It has, and it's deflected off of Zubimendi last. Corner kick for PSG on the right-hand side. There's a sharp turn there from João Neves. But Zubimendi stuck to the task. So corner for Desiree Doué. To deliver from the right-hand side. It's PSG's 11th corner. Compare that to Arsenal's 2. So Desiree Doué, in-swinging corner comes in, headed away to the near post. Martinelli traps on his chest. Martinelli now just clears. Madueke chasing down. There's time for Zaire Emery just to pass it back to Safanov. And now Arsenal can try and push up. Mendes in possession. Mendes over halfway. Barkla. Barkla looks like he's playing as a left wing back here. So PSG go backwards to Mendes on the halfway line. So Mendes left side centre back. Pacho in the centre. Zabarnyi right sided. Zabarnyi brings over halfway. Gives it to Desiree Doué. That's infield to Neves. Doué again. Mendes. Left footed and short. Into the feet of Beraldo. Here's Doué. And backwards now for Beraldo. João Neves. Just over 35 yards from goal. Inside right. It is PSG in possession. Still with Neves. Now to Mendes. And PSG just patient on the ball here. Now work it to Zubimendi, into the feet of Zabarnyi. Now back towards the centre circle to Pacho. So it is a wide left here. PSG have it with Zaire Emery. Barkla. Zaire Emery. Zaire Emery 25 yards from goal. And now cross comes in for the left-hand side for PSG, looking for Ramos. Simple catch there for David Rice. 7 minutes of extra time to go. We're closing in on a penalty shootout to decide this year's Champions League. So Raya goes long. Header from Neves. Nodded from Rice from the centre circle. Header from Zabarnyi. Again, cushion header from Rice. Powerful header forward from Beraldo. Barkla chasing, but Arsenal defence cover it well. As Gabriel left it for Saliba. Rolls it to Zubimendi. And João Neves in close proximity. So Rice now lifts over halfway. It's a tame pass though, easily taken on the chest of Mendes, but Arsenal get it back on halfway with Jurien Timber. Saliba first time. It is Arsenal in possession with Timber. Back to Declan Rice. And now David Raya in his penalty area. Raya. Again, direct ball towards left, too much on it though. Now Mikel Arteta screaming at his team to try and push up as well as David Raya. So he wants the side to box PSG in. Luis Enrique, they'll be very confident this side. Keeping hold of the ball. Try and maybe get through the press. Hakimi's throw. Intercepted from Eze. And now Zubimendi. To Nkapie. Eze. 35 yards from goal. Here's Eberechi Eze now. Looks at a very Eze. It was a good idea. Trying to play that on the needle pass to Noni Madueke. So PSG with Pacho. It is Mendes. Now Zaire Emery has it. Looks like Zaire Emery's playing, sort of helping out that left-hand side. It is Hakimi Wilson. Looks like actually PSG building up the back three. Then Sunside they will shift that back forward again. Hakimi to Barkla, cuts in from the right. And now here's Hakimi. Hakimi infield, PSG. Just shy of 30 yards and goal with Beraldo. So João Neves, just under 5 minutes left of extra time in Budapest. PSG 1, Arsenal 1. Zabarnyi again pushed up really high from centre back. Neves to Zabarnyi again. Zabarnyi a few yards further forward. Barkla goes backwards to Zabarnyi. So PSG midway in the Arsenal half. Now Neves to Barkla. Barkla's cross comes in, dealt with by the head of Gabriel. Doué lets it run for Neves. So PSG inside right. 25 yards to goal. Doué's pass deflects off of Gyökeres. rolls in the middle for Ramos. And now here's PSG with Neves. Beraldo. Square in the centre circle from Mendes to Pacho. Pacho left-footed. Here's Sabani. Sabani now forwards on the right-hand side to Desiree Doué. Infield, PSG right in the attacking third. Hakimi wide right. Back and field to Desiree Doué. He's in a central position. Guys it back to Nuno Mendes. Arsenal, everyone behind the ball. Now Mendes into the feet of Neves. Neves, just over 25 yards from goal. Plays it back to Zabani. PSG can't find a way through the red wall at the moment. Here is Beraldo, back to Mendes. So PSG on the left with Zai Emery. Has Beraldo and Phil. Beraldo's used. And now Zabani. Zabani now edge of the box. Here's João Neves. Neves on the byline. Neves keeps in play. Neves clips the cross and it's a poor cross. Headed on as far as Doué. Doué's deflected strike. And Raya manages to keep hold of it. Quick throw from Raya now to Madueke. Madueke looking to surge over halfway to clear. Tug on the back of Madueke's shirt. And a yellow card shown to Nuno Mendes. I'll tell you what, that was a real scare for Arsenal a moment ago. Yeah, Neves got away from Makape, he lost his balance. Neves clipping the cross, it was a poor cross, mine. Gabriel headed away, and then Doué headed down to the ground. But Raya managed to get both hands on the ball then. It was a quick throw from Raya. Madueke was clearly pulled back. Nuno Mendes, we're heading towards penalties as things stand. Unless something could be created in the final 2.5 minutes of extra time, plus whatever's added on, certainly won't be much. So David Raya, behind the halfway line. Raya now drills it, right-footed towards the box, but over the head of Nkapie. Goal kick for PSG. 2 minutes of extra time to go. So PSG, will they go long, will try and build with the back three. There's a back three with possession because Hakimi's pushed up so high. So Mikel Arteta just down his side to keep the head. So PSG just, I think, might be a wise idea for PSG just to go long here. Again, in this match, 72% possession from PSG, 19 attempts to Arsenal's 4 attempts to Arsenal's 1 on target, which was the goal from Havertz in the opening 6 minutes. The goalkeeper PSG goes straight out play. Arsenal throws a quick one down the right for Madueke. Madueke now maybe a chance for a cross to come in. It's a shot to side netting in the end. It was a really tight angle. It was Yuri Timber of all people inside the box. I'm not sure it's a cross or a shot there from Timber. Timber, I think it was a shot. It was a shot from Timber trying to cleverly beat Safin off at his near post, but could only find the side netting. PSG go direct down the right hand side. It's out of play. We're into the last minute of extra time. One apiece, and Timber so disappointed in himself. Maybe he's thinking he should have kept hold of it a little bit longer and gone for pass or cross in the box. Nkapie's throw down the left. Flick from Zabani, only fires at Barry Eze. Eze turns now, soon Mendy inside left. Arsenal coming up towards the box. Could Arsenal snatch this at the death in extra time? They're wide right, Madueke. Madueke, can he send it across? Madueke's delivery. Headed away from Beraldo. Headed back down for Gabriel. Gyökeres facing away from goal. For Gyökeres, tidy for Gyökeres. Short deflects off target. But it will be a corner kick for Arsenal. I think Mikel Arteta's appealing for a handball. I didn't see that myself. And will VR say something to the referee? So Gyökeres, no, I didn't see any hand there. I think Mikel Arteta, real desperation there. Because none of the Arsenal players had a better view than Arteta were appealing. So it's just a corner kick for Arsenal on the right hand side. So we are over the 120 minutes. Arsenal have a corner kick. Can they win the Champions League? A dramatic style. Maybe the last touch of extra time. Noni Madueke to deliver in front of the Arsenal supporters. from the right-hand side, man. Wake's corner kick comes in, flicked in the air for Barkla. Push away for Safanov, comes on header to Mendy. Now PSG head away for Ramos. Rice hits it down to the ground, headed towards goal, deflects. It goes towards Rice, edge of the box. And then Hakimi hits off of Declan Rice. And that should be a goal kick in PSG's favour. And that should be penalty shootout, it is. The referee puts his whistle to his mouth. Penalty shootout in the 2026 Champions League final. And I'll tell you what, that's the fair result over the 120 minutes. Kai Havertz opened the scoring in the 6th minute after Marquinhos' mistake. His clearance just blocked from Trossard. And Havertz had acres of space to run into. Got in the box, kept himself composed, and hit it into the roof and net. But he always felt like PSG were going to have that big moment to respond second half. They got a penalty. Lovely combination play between Dembele and Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia was fouled from Mosquera. He was having a brilliant game actually up until that point. And Dembele coolly converts the penalty with 25 minutes left. But Arsenal grew in stature slightly. Again, that the back end of the second half went on, but couldn't find that big chance. And Barkla off the bench had a couple of big moments he couldn't take. And second half and extra time has just been extremely tense, I have to say. And nothing to separate these two sides. What a job Arsenal have done to get to this point. Get a brand new experience for these players. PSG, well, they have done it last season. They did the job in emphatic style against Inter. Can they make it back-to-back Champions League? So now, the penalty kick takers are all being decided. The fans watch on helplessly. Who will be the hero? Will it be David Raya or Matvei Safanov? And Arsenal have taken it further than they did at Paris back in 2006. It was massive this time as well that Arsenal didn't get a goalkeeper sent off, as they did almost 20 years ago. So one last speech from both sets, of both managers. Luis Enrique has conducted and finished his. So last rousing speech from Mikel Arteta, as now the penalty takers have been decided for Arsenal. They're in as tight huddle as possible. They've already won the Premier League, but can they add the Champions League to it to get the first ever in the illustrious club's history? What an achievement it would be. They have the chance to go and make themselves legends. This penalty shootout. It's Arteta now just giving his final rousing speech to the Arsenal's players before they take that daunting walk up to the spot. And David Raya just having a quick look at his notes as well. Just chat with Kepa. So David Raya, again, it's quite interesting, the goalkeeper in this situation. He has his own little personal team talk with the goalkeeping coach, and just going through the penalty takers. This is the keeper's forte. The exact same is going on in the PSG camp as well. There's already the Arsenal fan with his hands behind his head. Some can't even bear to watching PSG fans who won it last season. He still can't take away that tension despite them finally win their Champions League. Because you imagine if PSG hadn't won it as well, where the tension would have been up a notch even further. So, coin toss now to happen between the two skippers before this shootout starts at Budapest. What a venue, by the way, this has been. Puskás Arena. I hope it sees another Champions League final. And also, of course, the 2023 Europa League final, the only other final that's been hosted at the Puskás Arena, was decided by a penalty shootout. Sevilla won that one. It will be penalty shootout victors this time. Now, if the penalty shootout is going to be taken towards the left, and that's where Sevilla won it last time, so the coin toss is now happening. And it looks like, I think Hakimi's won the coin toss, so I think he'll be taken in front of the Paris Saint-Germain supporters. So here we go. A moment that Arsenal fans have been waiting for. Real huge opportunity to win the Champions League. They've gone that step further than they did in 2006. They're taking this one right to the wire. Can they see the job through? Or will PSG retain their crown? Let the penalty shootout begin in Budapest. One last huddle for the Arsenal players before we get underway. So Safanov and Ramos just having a quick chat. So it looks like Arsenal will be up first for the shootout. And who will step up to the plate? So actually, I think it'll be Gonçalo Ramos. Of course, PSG win the toss. Gonçalo Ramos will be the first man up then. Let's kick off this penalty shootout for PSG. PSG have already scored one penalty this evening. That man is not on the pitch in the shape of Ousmane Dembele. So can Gonçalo Ramos in front of the PSG supporters get off to a flyer in the shootout? So plants the ball down. Right, just playing some mind games. Hands on hips. Gonçalo Ramos, deep breath. Against Saliba, can't even bear to watch. And David Raya just being talked to by the referee quickly. So here we go, Gonçalo Ramos up first in this penalty shootout. You can just see the facial expressions on the fans. They're just helpless in this situation, as they always are. So referee just giving a quick talking to Safanov and Raya, just going through the usual procedures. And Donnarumma in superb for penalties, so he'll be a miss at PSG, but Safanov though, he's the main man now. So can he really prove his worth? That's why he's the PSG main goalkeeper in this penalty shootout to win them the Champions League. So finally, we can commence. Gonçalo Ramos against David Raya to kick off the 2026 Champions League final. Penalty shootout here. Ramos, deep breath, hands on hips. Ramos, right foot to penalty, into the top corner. Excellent way to start the shootout. That's the quality of the penalty kick. That was excellent there from Gonçalo Ramos. Placed it, right footed, sent right the one way into the top right hand corner. So PSG get themselves on board, get one on board in this penalty shootout. So Victor Gyökeres, the first man up for Arsenal. Can he keep his cool? Gyökeres couldn't really get into the game after coming off the bench. They get Arsenal underway in style. And then shoots out Gyökeres, penalty. Oh, it's an excellent penalty. Victor Gyökeres just passed it right footed, low into the bottom corner, and sent Safanov the wrong way. And open penalties taken. And both sides get the first one out of the way with a goal. So who'll be next up for Paris Saint-Germain? A massive relief for Arsenal to score that first penalty. So it will be Désiré Doué. He was a star of the final last season. Didn't really get into this one as nowhere near as much as last year, but big penalty here for him to put PSG 2-1 ahead. To again put the pressure back on Arsenal. So Doué, again deep breath, just a little sidestep. Doué now, little shimmy right foot to penalty. Oh, that's a lovely penalty. Just passed it into the bottom corner, sending Raya the wrong way. He just rolled that along the turf, gave the ball a little kiss before taking it. As cool as you like on Désiré Doué. What a future he has ahead of him in the game. I think what's achieved already, but Great stuff there from Due. So Barry Eze next up for Arsenal. So this is Barry Eze, Arsenal's second penalty. And Arsenal keep pace with PSG in the shootout. And all the Arsenal coaching staff in arms locked in a long line, as well as the players, of course. So Barry Eze. He likes a very cool run up, Eze. There's a little side step. Little shimmy as well. Eze hesitates. Eze, oh, he's wide! And Barry Eze puts his penalty wide. Right-footed. We did the hard work of just leaving Safanov rooted to the spot. But he couldn't find the target. It's advantage PSG in the Budapest shootout. There's an Arsenal fan already in tears. It's not over yet. So can David Raya help out Eze here? Again, the run-up was really good from Eze. Left Safanov rooted to the spot, but again, just passed it wide in the end with his right foot. So Nuno Mendes to pile the pressure on Arsenal. Big moment coming up here. Can David Raya step up and keep Arsenal well and truly live in the shootout? Mendes penalty is safe from Raya. Relief for Arsenal. They have a route right back into the shootout. David Raya got down to his left-hand side. I wouldn't say that was the worst penalty from Mendes either. That was just a really good save from David Raya. Gets to his left-hand side, strong left hand he got on it. And Kepa was just a fist pump. So elated for his fellow goalkeeper. So Declan Rice. This is the penalty on these big broad shoulders to draw level here. So can Safanov keep PSG's advantage? Or Declan Rice bring Arsenal back level in this shootout? So Declan Rice, deep breath. And a step to the left now, right foot to penalty, Rice, oh, that's brilliant! Safanov got nowhere near that. Just past it to Safanov's left corner with his right foot. We're two apiece here in Budapest. The fourth set of penalties now awaits us. That is superb metal there from Declan Rice to just keep his cool and slot that in. So Achraf Hakimi with the captain's armband on for PSG. PSG have already beaten one North London club, of course, in a penalty shootout in the Super Cup. Can they do it? It's the red half of North London here. 4 set penalties. Hakimi to take with 2 apiece. And here's the number 2. Hakimi sends Raya the wrong way. It's into Raya's bottom right corner for Achraf Hakimi. So 3-2 to PSG. And Raya went the same way as he did for the Mendes penalty, but he couldn't save. Penalty from this PSG fullback. So Arsenal, their 4th penalty set to come up. Let's see who will have the bravery to take this 4th one. It will be Gabriel Martinelli. It's half a line, Martinelli, unsurprising that he is stepping up to the plate to take one. Martinelli. Little shimmy, right foot to penalty. Oh, it's excellent. Plenty of power on that one. Into Safanov's top right-hand corner. 3 apiece. And now it is the 5th set of penalties. And that is excellent there from Martinelli. Wrapped his right foot around it into the top corner. So we're now in sudden death territory in the shootout. So PSG with their 5th penalty. And it'll be Lucas Beraldo to step up. Luis Enrique, don't think he can bear to look here, arms folded. Can David Raya save his second penalty? The shootout, Beraldo sends Raya the wrong way. And into David Raya's bottom left-hand corner. Again, stroked that excellently there. Lucas Beraldo. It's a 4-3 to Paris Saint-Germain. Great penalty there from Beraldo. Dispatched at one, plenty of power. And the precision to go along with it. So Gabriel to take Arsenal's fifth penalty. If he misses, PSG retain their European crown. So Gabriel has to score to keep Arsenal in it. Again, this is the sort of character you want in this extremely high-pressure situation. Here's the beauty of sudden death. Penalty shootout. So Gabriel has to score this. Takes a deep breath. Gabriel be a left-footed penalty. Gabriel, it's over the bar! It's heartbreak for Arsenal, and PSG retain their European crown. It is heartbreak for Gabriel, but elation for Paris Saint-Germain once again. They had to dig deep, and they did. And both sets of players out their feet physically and emotionally. They're giving everything to this final. And it's this, a dynasty maybe upon us of PSG Champions League wins. 20 years on, and same old story for Arsenal. Both sides gave everything to this. That's why it was decided on spot kicks. But PSG victorious. They've beaten Arsenal in the Champions League final, 4-3 on penalties. Pacho in tears. Again, it's elation or relief as well for PSG. Because there were questions asked, could they break down the Arsenal wall in the second half? But the creativity, Dembele, Kvaratskhelia to win the penalty. And penalties were the key for PSG. Dembele dispatching in the second half. And then PSG doing their job from the shootout. Arteta almost in tears, as well as many of the Arsenal fans, but they can hold their heads high. They've won the Premier League. They've got themselves their second ever Champions League final. That day will come for Arsenal. Again, you think of Liverpool and that heartbreak with Jurgen Klopp, and they came back the next year. Again, they've seen they can come back after the setbacks of losing out the Premier League title, so we'll sure see Arsenal here again. But another European final held at the Puskás Arena has been decided on penalties. And congratulations to Paris Saint-Germain, who are champions of Europe for the second year running. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.